The Emperor has foreseen a new threat rising against him. The Podwans Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Podwans Podcast. How are we doing today, everybody?
Fantastic. Happy day one of Star Wars Celebration.
Happy day one of Star Wars Celebration. Happy 3 days before 420, Luke.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you insinuating something?
Yeah, that you're a criminal? Yes.
Hey, Luke, you know what happened on 420?
What?
You know what 420 is?
Yeah, the Easter Bunny died for your sins.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, Palpatine died, actually. But, I digress.
Interesting.
Well, today is an interesting show because not only are we here to talk about Andor Week's Eve, but also the finale of Andor that we rewatched. We also are here to talk about some of our boots on the ground in Japan right now who are at Celebration Japan. They are currently in the Celebration stage, like the main stage of the Mando and Grogu panel. And if you will see in the chat, there's someone that's been held prisoner in our backstage area.
You spoiled
To talk about Andor, talk about Celebration, all of that, we do have our friend, and it's blocked on my screen, so I'm almost to go up. Cal Forer.
Oh, hey, it's me. Okay, I'll rewrite this now.
Can I say one thing? I missed Cal. Like genuinely, I miss talking to Cal on a regular basis because everything that comes out of Cal's mouth is just like, holy shit, I wish I thought of that.
I have somehow developed a direct line to your funny bone specifically, and you know what? I'll take it.
It works.
It does.
It works.
Cal, what have you been up to? How have you been? What's new in the world of Cal?
I haven't been up to anything.
I don't believe that.
Streaming like I normally do.
What games have you been playing?
Rivals, just a lot of Rivals, man. It's been fun. I mean, honestly, it's been a lot of stuff. Primarily multiplayer games. Repo's been crazy. Been a lot of fun with that.
Is that like a Lethal Company light?
I would say it's less than light. It's honestly more flushed out than Lethal Company.
Okay.
But it's similar. It's kind of your horror analog proxy voice chat multiplayer collect game thing where you die a lot and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
Oh, so not to butt in, Beyond Victory, they dropped a little thing for the VR game. Looks kind of interesting. It's like Pod Racer a little bit.
Okay.
I will say the VR Star Wars games on the Quest are a blast.
Yeah, like Vader Immortal. That's I feel like
it's fantastic
story-wise. It's and by the way, speaking of that, this book, the book that Adam Christopher is going to be writing of Darth Vader, it takes place in between the comics and like it intertwines with Vader Immortal in the comics. Cool. The first run of the comics.
Oh, so it's like right before Rogue One. Okay.
No, it's not. It's like Revenge of the Sith, the 2018 or 2017 run of Vader prequel, like after the prequels Vader.
Yeah, it's like within
Vader
5 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. So that book will be taking place in between those two things.
Okay, so it's like
the way to cheat date. Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, sorry.
Nice. But no, what have you guys also been up to, Luke? What have you been doing recently?
What have I been doing?
I mean, you're getting ready for a wedding, but
that's number one.
With me.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we making it official? The pod ones are officially a thing now?
Yeah, Mrs. Charlie Johnson.
No, I mean, I have the hair.
You think I want to be the power bottom in that whole thing? Absolutely not.
You're not a power bottom.
I'll just go down to my knees.
It's just a normal bottom.
I'll just go down to my knees.
There's no power in that bottom, Luke.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, planning a wedding. I've got to figure out how I can get back into streaming on a regular basis and doing fun stuff and growing the channel that way.
It's time consuming. It takes a lot of energy. So
It does. That's the only down part, and I don't have a lot of that right now. Like I barely have time to do this. It seems like. But no, I'm just here waiting for news and ready to go.
Right. Well, Hereth, what's been new with you?
Oh, new with me? Not really much. I mean, outside of being completely enveloped with Daredevil Born Again and that brain rot with Marvel, and then now having to immediately switch gears and go, oh yeah, Andor season 2 that comes out like next Tuesday, and then we got like all the celebration news that's gonna be coming out over the 3 days. So it's like trying to flip back from outside of Star Wars back into Star Wars. It's been a little bit of that struggle.
Well, but considering we've been out of Star Wars since the end of Skeleton Crew, which, by the way, Cal, what did you think of Skeleton Crew?
I adored it.
I did too.
It perfectly encapsulated what Star Wars felt like as a kid. To like be a fan of Star Wars as a kid, and like kind of the stories you would make up when playing with friends, and like you're out in the woods and everybody grabs like their favorite stick they found that's vaguely lightsaber shaped, and now you're all Jedi, right? Like it captures like the magic of childlike wonder as a Star Wars fan. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I also really
very
liked
pretty too.
Skeleton Crew. Yeah, it's for me, it surpassed Book of Boba Fett as the most fun show. I still love Book of Boba Fett, Charlie. But I always said that Book of Boba Fett was the most fun show. I think Skeleton Crew is now the most fun Star Wars show.
I think Solo is the most fun movie, and
I don't disagree.
100%.
I don't disagree with that at all, Cal. That is a perfect way. Like I would say, Skeleton Crew and Solo are on the same like I can just turn my brain off and enjoy from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the most important part with this whole thing, you know?
It's like pure condensed Star Wars love in a project, right? Like it's what Star Wars is for a lot of people, which is that hope, found family, lightheartedness, a little campiness, all kind of blended up with some good action and just fun visuals.
But Chuck, what have you been up to?
Let me go off of what that was just about, because I mean I was thinking about this the other day, because I was thinking about Skeleton Crew, and I didn't really talk much about you guys with Skeleton Crew. I absolutely agree with you, Chase. Skeleton Crew is one of the most fun shows that Disney Plus has ever produced, ever. And I feel like that we used to use fun as like a coping term. Like I remember, you know how much I disliked Bad Batch season 2, right?
Yeah.
I remember someone calling it fun. I'm like, no, Skeleton Crew is fun. This is Crosshair for episode 3. Wait 6 episodes, and then we finally get him back. You're absolutely right. Skeleton Crew is fun. Like we tend to milk the term fun a lot.
But it is. But when I look at Skeleton Crew, and I also look at something like Book of Boba Fett, like those are projects that like they went and they just had fun making a Star Wars project. Like they told a good story along the way as well, but like there's no way that the finale of Book of Boba Fett wasn't just like Robert Rodriguez like playing with Star Wars action figures to
100%
plan out
Rancor smash. Shoot out.
What if the two Mandalorians teamed up together? What if Cad Bane showed up?
Yeah. I think you summed it up perfectly there to Chase with the whole. You couldn't tell that the people who made the show had fun making the show.
Yeah, 100%. But speaking of not having fun, the last 2 episodes of Andor season 1.
I had fun.
Okay.
Let me just sense of fun.
But if you guys are curious what I've been up to,
you gave up that time.
Speaking of unfun, what have you been up to?
You've been lifting weights.
Let's see. So, this weekend I was in a little magical world that I could call.
We
forgot. I'm kidding.
What did you get? Did you get anything fun?
Hold on.
No, yeah. What's a Hereth's house?
Wait, everybody. Happy birthday. Let's all start. Happy birthday.
No, it's copyrighted.
No. Absolutely not. How dare you?
Oh, Jesus.
Sing it.
Or is it actually your birthday today?
Sing it.
No, it was his
Dang
birthday
it.
last week.
Yeah.
Oh, well then no.
Stop.
It was my birthday was on Saturday.
Happy belated birthday.
I want you to sing it right now.
Fun. I don't sing unless I'm drunk at karaoke, and then I'll sing.
I insist.
And it's usually with a backpack char that I'm singing, typically.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, no, yeah, I
true.
went to Disney last weekend, and I'm still dealing with this nonsense. So, yeah. So fun and games. Love my Magic
What,
together.
Magic the Gathering?
Oh, speaking of, hold on.
Oh, here we go.
Look who's got his baby's first commander decks. I just started playing
Who do you
Magic
have?
the Gathering with my sister.
When?
I've got one of the Bloomborough ones, Bello the Bard of Brambles, and then the Wise Mothman from Fallout.
Black, blue, green. Yes.
How do you? Okay,
Stupid
quick,
mill and
I
rad
don't wanna-
counters. I hate it.
I don't want to get too far off the beaten path, but how do you, like, let's say I have a Lord of the Rings deck. How does that work, like, against franchises? Like, how does that work?
You don't need. You can cross franchises. Doesn't matter. Like this.
Yeah,
Literally,
so-
I have the secret. I have the Deadpool secret lair. Like you can match and mix and match anything.
A lot
into a
of the
deck.
cards that come out in these like runs, like I played against my sister has all of the Lord of the Rings decks, and she's the one who told me to get into it. It doesn't matter. A lot of the cards are just remakes, and now he's left. So now these words are falling on deaf ears. Hello, chat. Hopefully you're doing good.
Like look at this.
Anyways.
Like this is the art of Galadriel.
Gorgeous.
Here, whatever. I'm just.
Hey,
And
those
Luke's not
watching
even-
or
Luke's not even
listening,
here.
you
I'll
don't
just
get
go
to
cry.
see, but
You're
you can
back.
hear. Dude, I don't stop crying on the inside.
That's okay.
Yeah, I don't know what Luke's getting.
Working
He's,
through it.
obviously, he's not like going with the flow. But anyways, when Luke gets back, let's talk about
Yeah.
the Ferrix
But
Arc.
how was Disney? Was that
good,
your
yeah,
first time going to like Galaxy's Edge and stuff, or
No. I think this has been my fourth time. Yeah, because I went twice in 2021, like beginning and very end, January and December.
that's right?
Went to Disneyland in Anaheim for one day, and then I went this past Saturday. So yeah,
He's got a
You
Brita
just showing up
picture.
with a Brita filter? Like,
What the hell?
You just show up with a Brita
What is he?
picture?
What is he? Will wear a hood? Is he gonna show up
Was
with an
that-
ice
was
cream
that-
maker?
That was
Hey,
demanding enough to leave.
Well,
Hold
no,
on, guys, I
no,
need to get my Brita picture.
Okay, first of all, my dog was barking up a storm. Okay, and
was he
I just
asking
so
you to
happened-
refill the filter?
No, it's because he's going to be thirsty for Andor content.
Yeah.
Wow,
He's
what a
as thirsty as
segue! I
Luke
love
and
it.
Rail.
I love it. Go ahead, hit it, hit the rule.
Oh,
You're welcome, Charlie. You're welcome.
SpongeBob. But no, Luke, this is Galadriel and like the art of her for Magic.
to answer your question, my sister uses the Lord of the Rings decks, and we can play together because a lot of the cards are just recreated cards that already exist.
You
but
can
with
mesh them all
artwork
together.
that fits. Yeah,
Oh, really?
they just
Oh,
they're cards with effects. Yeah,
Can I ask what deck she runs?
Sean Levy is in the
the
building, by
Frodo
the way.
deck.
Which one?
Frodo and Sam or Galadriel. The Frodo and Sam commander.
Oh,
pair.
the Orzhov, the black white. Okay, yeah.
Or I think is it black white? I thought it was white green.
The Frodo is, and then Sam is mono green, and then there's just Samwise
But they're
Gamgee,
paired.
which is mono
They're paired
green.
commanders, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm
last-
talking about.
The last Magic expansion I bought was Nemesis,
Luke,
and I think that was
Luke with the brain
2005.
on that.
You know what funny thing is,
Word.
a lot of people don't know that in the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, there's a poster of Invasion in the back in his room for Magic.
Guys,
Classic.
never mind. I gotta keep my
Is it
mouth
just
shut.
me or is Luke's camera freezing sporadically?
Yes.
It does
It's me.
that.
Yeah, Luke, get a better
Oh.
setup. You're a weirdo.
Try a different web browser, maybe? Question mark. Because mine does that with.
I'm literally on my phone on Discord, and it's working just fine.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
That all being said, out of the way.
Yeah, let's dive into Ferrix.
Talk about Ferrix. We've left Narkina 5. We've traded it for Ferrix. the bricks and the screws capital of the world.
Oh no.
But no, like there's so many things that happen in this like 2-episode arc that I think is just so impactful. There's just so much emotion that has, just been culminating for the past 10 episodes that leads up to all of this. And obviously starting with the death of Marva, which is like, it's crazy now, like rewatching these episodes, like how hard it hits, like them just cleaning out her house, like Brasso and the other people just cleaning out the house. Like it's like hard to get through at times. And especially like knowing that the funeral is the next episode and stuff like that. But it's just like, it's just one of those things that like watching, because like I've had to do that same thing, cleaning out someone's, who's passed, cleaning out their house, cleaning out their room. And it's just an eerie thing to do. And
there's that weird air about it where it's, you're seeing a lot of possessions and just spaces where you're used to seeing someone and just knowing that like they're not there anymore. It's just that hollow feeling.
Yeah.
And they captured it really well.
Yeah, and one of the things that just makes it hit harder is B2. That like is this kind of combination of like lost puppy dog and like very young child that like is like, I mean, he's a droid. He literally cannot process what's going on. Like we see that he's kind of a dysfunctional droid. He's just he just has a bunch of quirks, malfunctioning systems and quirks and stuff like that. And it's just like having Brasso have to, like tell him like, hey, she's not coming back. And like the gut punch of like, Brasso's like, well, come on, just come with me. Just like, let's go. And then B2 just says, could you just stay here with me instead? And Brasso goes, one night. And it's like, doing that for a droid, for Marva's droid.
Yeah, like the main thing that stood out to me like with like this opening is I love how it's just how sudden it is. It's like we're getting put in the POV of Cassian later on at the end of the episode of like, oh yeah, she's just dead. Like there is no build up, there's nothing. It's just bam.
That's how it happens. Is like you
get a phone call,
a gut punch. Yeah, you get a phone call. Someone comes into your work and they're like, hey, so and so passed away, and it's like,
yeah, things like that are just extremely abrupt.
It's
kind of just happening.
Depending on depending on your situation, like, you'll either get that phone call or you maybe will make a phone call and didn't know. Like I know I have like, like had friends and stuff, not like super close friends, but you'll be with a group of friends and you'll ask about something like, oh, you didn't hear, like they passed away like, a couple months ago. And it's like, oh my gosh. I remember distinctly having a friend in New York that like, the day it happened, like she was hit, riding her bike. And it was like, oh, like, hey, what are we doing later on? Are we riding with Robin? And they're like, you didn't hear. And so like, it's hard to like see doing that and having similar situations. Like it's hard to get through. Because that ending scene, and we'll even talk about that ending scene a little bit later on, but like that whole the way that Andor I think nails so many just realistic and grounded situations throughout the entire season is just like, it's crazy. It's like, it's watching it, you're like they just nail everything so well.
They do a really good job at letting moments breathe.
Yeah.
And take the time they need to take. Like I'm in earlier episode on Aldhani, there's a moment where like the TIE fighters are swooping in and they don't cut. They just let it go and you just hear the sound as it slowly approaches. Right. And like they do it, and we'll probably wind up talking about it in the next episode as well. But there's a moment where there's a character who passes away and you just see them laying there for like 10 seconds. And it's a very long 10 seconds to just be staring at somebody motionless, right? But that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in the scene in her home is like we have to sit in it. We have to sit in the quiet. And letting it do that makes it feel more real. Yeah. Because that's how it really would be.
Yeah, it's
True, but there are a lot of bricks. To just say that.
Yeah, and
That's
those
true,
always.
so it's not really
yeah,
that
and they
real.
really take me out of it. I mean, you can see
Yes.
the screws holding up the camera in Bix's like little chamber. It's, anyways.
God forbid they have food too. Like
I know.
ugh.
Ugh.
And you know what makes that ultimately tragic, like going in from like Marva's death to like what we're gonna talk about next is like it's like we're talking about like how like empty this feels and like how this death of Marva doesn't really affect like everyone on Ferrix, and then the Empire just doesn't see any of that. And like I love how like they use that kind of transition from that and Cassian's escape into the ISB's conversation with Dedra.
Yeah, because the Empire is really just trying, especially with everything going on with Ferrix, and they're slowly learning more and more about Cassian and knowing that Marva's, has been entangled with him and all of that. But they still don't know who Axis / Luthen is. And they're like, nope, we can't let this happen. And Dedra, being kind of the semi-obsessive person she is just like, let it happen. As in, like, she wants to set a trap for Cassian. Like, if we let the funeral go on, he'll come, which is not untrue, as we see. But I do like this false sense of kindness and empathy on the Empire side in the same way we saw it with Aldhani, with the Aldhani people. And it's just one of those things. It's just like every reason that they're doing something is just for their own ends. And it's like sickening sometimes, but
yeah. And like
it's getting to see it as an actual machine rather than like people.
Yeah, it's that we can use the grief and suffering of an entire small township to get to our own goals and to facilitate what we want to do with certain people.
It's to kind of give a weird example. Like I worked for a very large company at one point, but the fact that and this happens in many companies, but the fact you have a limited bereavement time allowed.
Yep.
Where it's like, oh, we're sorry, your cousin died. He gets 5 big booms, and you get 2 days off.
No, literally though. That's
the
what most insane shit. Well, and the fact they were like, okay, so what's next? She's like, what's next? They're like, they get at least 2 days to grieve, and then everything goes back to normal. And she's like, let them have that, but no more. Let them have that though, because she knows that Cassian is still out there. She knows that this is going to bring him in. And that's why she says in even the episodes before, she's like, we are not using Marva. Like the mother is on her deathbed. There's no reason to torture her or get anything out of her. She's more useful to us alive than dead. And she brings that up when the stuff with Krieger happens later on.
And to me, it's it goes back to what makes Andor really good. It's like we're really focusing on the authoritarian aspect of the Empire in the scene of we can if we control this funeral, Cassian will come. We can control exactly what we want with the rebellion and have him in our grasp.
The fact it's a debate shows that they're even willing to not allow it.
Time out.
And
wait,
it's yeah.
No, Chase, I need you. I need you. This is something that's going to be up your alley. So,
I know Star Wars is
Ryan
posting stuff about Celebration.
Ryan Gosling was at the panel.
Okay.
Sean Levy's titled Star Wars project.
Okay.
Is Star Wars Starfighter. And it's going to feature Ryan Gosling.
Details? What details? Are there
any? The only details that I have so far.
You can't just say Starfighter and Chase.
Well, we know the movie.
Edge of the announcement, right?
We know
it's post.
Rise
of Skywalker.
Oh, really? Start with an R.
And it'll come out May 28th of 2027, which
Is this a movie, not a show?
This is a movie. This is a movie, and filming starts this fall. Those are things that we do know as of right now.
Post
I
Rise
think
of Skywalker.
honestly, as long as the most that you wanted was Rogue Squadron, I feel like this has a pretty good feeling of being the replacement for Rogue Squadron.
Chase.
Yes.
I'm going to say this officially here on the Podwans podcast.
Got it.
I'm going to try and find a way to watch it with you in theaters.
Let's do it. That gives us 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that means Cal's coming to Seattle. Let's go.
Or I can go down to Alabama. Or I have family in Georgia.
Well, no. Ideally, I won't be living here anymore. But
no, time out.
It also could be, you know, if it happens at like a
Star Wars Celebration, Orlando.
Yeah,
I think it'll be California in 2027, but that's just my.
Which is fine.
But yeah, depending on where both of us are at that point, I'm going to try and make.
When will they announce when it will be next? When will they announce
on Sunday? On Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
Because guys,
I
am praying that it's in Orlando and it's next year. Oh, that would be crazy.
2 minutes. 2 minutes here. Okay. Post Rise of Skywalker movie called Starfighter.
Yes.
That could mean a lot of things. We don't know what is Ryan Gosling going to be a fighter pilot? Is he going to be a commander? Is he going to be a politician?
Is he going to be just baby driver?
He's going to be Kate Skywalker.
Ooh, they came out with a title screen.
Oh. Is there a way that we can stream it?
No, the panel is like any other like major panel celebration.
Hold on. Hold your.
I mean, like stream the web browser he has.
No, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
I see.
Waiting for IV cam connection.
Okay, so this is my Twitter feed. Okay. Can you guys hear it?
Yes.
The music, in all honesty, the music is what sells it for me.
The music is great. This is very exciting.
That's very exciting for you. That's why I stopped what we were talking about.
I can see you fighting a smile. It's okay.
Well, here's the thing is if we're going to get a movie or any media about starfighter pilots and it's post-Rise, that's a very interesting setting to put a movie like this in. It seems like we've got Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire, which is the first post Rise of Skywalker content we've actually gotten. Mm-hmm. The Daisy Ridley movie, which
is still in production. It's still in development. So is James Mangold's Beginning of the Jedi as well.
We don't know what is going on because the New Republic post Rise is ashes of what it was trying to become at this point. And they had a military using T-85 X-Wings very briefly, like pre-Force Awakens is when the T-85s were out. So when we get 5 to 6 years after Force Awakens, like what are we looking at? Who is the antagonist at this point?
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the exact same thing.
First Order's gone.
Well, it could be like remnants of a Final Order and stuff like that.
I'm curious if it's going to be Ryan, because like I said, kind of the baby driver stuff, but like I am genuinely curious if it's going to be kind of like underworld crime stuff, like space cops.
Yeah, that's possible.
We also have eyes on the on site. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I wonder if Oscar Isaac would ever entertain the idea of coming back to be.
He already has publicly.
Has he?
Mm-hmm.
He's in Japan, so like
Yeah, he already he was originally going to go to Japan, and then he had to flip. People think it's because he's filming Doomsday era now for Marvel, but he was supposed to go to Japan originally, but he flipped at the last second to
on
the MCU.
I want more Oscar Isaac. Bring him back for Poe Dameron. Bring him back for Moon Knight, please and thank you.
Yeah, I think if this takes the place, what?
What?
You can't make mouth sounds and not give
Sorry,
us the
Alanis just
details.
texted me and said new trailer
Or
of what?
For what?
Grogu?
Like a trailer that they're towing behind a truck.
Where are
we need
you
info.
please be
talking?
Ahsoka season
about-
2.
Does
Please be
does she
Ahsoka
play-
season 2.
Is she
We
playing
aren't gonna
Euro
show
Truck
Ahsoka
Simulator?
season 2, dipshit. That's tomorrow.
We don't know. The opening ceremony can have
The
a lot
opening
of
ceremony
stuff.
could.
Well, no,
yeah.
they're not doing studio showcase this year. It's just
They're not doing
Grogu,
Luke-
but they're tying
Luke's
this
saying
into
it like
it.
he's there.
No, but like that's what we were told.
I know the
They're not gonna
schedule
tell you.
outside of the convention center.
Well,
We do.
we have the lineup. That's tomorrow.
Yeah, but at the same time, we've been to
But that's the
celebrations. You know the
impact.
curveballs they could throw at us.
It's true.
Hold on.
I'm with Char on this one. We don't know what could be announced when.
The only thing
Yeah,
that
Luke,
I
just like you,
see-
I've been to 2 celebrations. They throw a
Oh
bunch of stuff at
shit,
random
boys!
times.
Oh shit! We got our first official look of the fucking gang. Oh, hold on.
Of the
Y'all
gang.
More
gotta
info.
see this shit.
Please.
Is it
Y'all gotta
Ahsoka?
see this shit. No, it's not. It's Mando and Grogu. Look at
I
this.
figured.
Oh,
Look
okay.
at Zeb.
Hey.
Look at Zeb.
Yes.
We got
yes,
R5 and a
yes,
BD unit. Look at this shit.
There we go.
Yes. Zeb,
I like
let's
that.
Go.
I like
And
that.
a U-wing in the background?
That looks like a U-wing.
Let's go.
It looks like it.
Yes,
yeah.
please and thank you.
Can we
One
pour
of
one
my
out
favorite
for,
ships.
for the person that took this photo because they were like, oh,
Oh,
Oh my
gosh, I
God.
miss Celebration.
You
I'm sad
understand
I've
how
missed it too.
groundbreaking that movie's gonna be? The Mando and Grogu, like everything coming together from Mando, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, like all of that culminating into one story. Like, oh my god!
Pedro's there.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if he
Mhm.
wasn't.
This is like his big kahuna, even though he's big in a lot of things. But
Yeah. Last of Us. Fantastic Four.
this is like his big kahuna.
yeah.
Mando and Grogu will be releasing. I think they officially put it as like May. Hold on.
Was that just a picture of Zeb's feet?
Oh, I have.
It's got to be 2026.
May 2026 is what it says.
Yeah, it's May 2026.
I
Holy shit!
have so many thoughts, and I'm kind of worried
not.
What?
I'm not.
because you know what's also coming out in May 2026.
Oh,
besides
not
Star Wars?
fucking Doomsday.
Yes, it is Avengers Doomsday.
Oh no, they're not doing that, are
They're
they?
pulling another solo.
Oh, get that.
I mean, I'll
have
say
to get
this.
another big Marvel release.
We have the technology to go watch 2 movies.
What's the date on
Exactly.
Doomsday? Because it's May 22nd of 2026.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I
'cause
wouldn't even care if it's the same day. Make me go to the theater one day. I only have to leave my house for one day. That's great.
my thing is like and this is just like a thing of like I think Star Wars in December and like it's kind of perfect because it's its own like lane and like you don't have to worry about anything else going on. Like my worry is like May is just going to be so overcrowded and it's going to be like this
Ooh.
kind of push and pull
You're
effect.
afraid you're going to be too aroused. I
Whoa,
get
whoa,
it.
whoa,
What is
whoa,
that?
whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
that's
whoa,
the
whoa,
inside
whoa,
of the
whoa,
AT-AT.
whoa, 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 whoa. That's an AT-AT. That's an AT-AT.
That's a Walker. That's a Walker
That's a
trooper.
walker.
That's a Walker Texas Ranger right there.
Chuck Norris in Star Wars.
Hello.
Yeah. Wait. What
Oh!
is?
I'm not gonna lie, that would
Fucking,
actually go hard.
Grogu got a new
Pod.
container.
He needed
not-
to.
He's an ice cream container.
Yeah. He needed to know him.
Fucking look at Dave.
Hey,
I'm so happy.
that's the same face we all had when we sat
Oh,
in the
in Galaxy's
Millennium
Edge.
Falcon. Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I'm too aroused by Char's.
Wait, hold on. That looks like a bigger ship. That's very similar to
It's
the
definitely
Razor
a
Crest.
bigger ship.
It
I
definitely
mean,
is.
could
It
be a
looks
U-wing.
no, it's bigger than the Razor Crest.
Yeah, but you know how it has like the aesthetics? there. You know what I mean? Like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It had the same aesthetics as the Razor Crest.
He's in a Drake
Yeah,
shirt.
like the carbon freezing chamber wall.
That's literally what was in my head. I'm like, oh, this reminds me of my Corsair. I missed my Corsair.
Sorry,
I need to get it back, Chase.
Sorry, I didn't mean to dethrone the.
No, that is the whole point of this episode.
That's what. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
A lot of things are happening right now.
Celebrations going on. Right?
Oh my god!
I would be more upset if you saw this stuff and you didn't let us know.
Well,
a party of Anzellans.
It's like this conversation is going to be so like funny because it's like I just imagine a listener not like watching us on YouTube just being so confused because like we're like really going hard on like the authoritation of the Empire and Marvin's death, and then we're like, all right, Mando Grogu. Oh my god!
Sorry.
I
no, but
want
like, okay,
Anzellan to have like a really deep voice for no reason.
So both of them are there. So Pedro and Sigourney
Blank.
Weaver are there. They're supposed to be doing they're supposed to be on Good Morning America. Oh my God, she's a fucking rebel pilot. There you go, Chase. You won. You won, baby. Sigourney Weaver is going to be playing a rebel pilot.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at the BDs. They're so cute. Anyway,
I'm here for it.
So, Luke, any other intel that you've received that you should probably not share on here, but you can tell us in private?
Nothing.
I'm sad I'm not there because it's two of my favorite things.
Hey, guess what?
What Japan and Star Wars?
Oh yeah, Japan. No, yeah, Cal loves Japanese culture.
Seeing a lot of the announcements and stuff like that in Japanese is just really cool.
Yeah, Cal. With my build now and my hair tied up, I literally characterize Toto.
I love that.
I can pull up Toto like it's nothing.
Gosh, she looks so good.
And this is from Mando and Grogu, right?
Yes, this is from Mando and Grogu.
Also, looking at that image, am I going crazy, or is her like casting chair written in Orbash?
No, it says cast.
It says
cast. It just says cast, but from the angle.
But it has like the
same font.
Yeah.
Those BD droids at Galaxy's Edge were so stinking cute.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Yeah, I saw
those
them.
Those were the coolest thing there. We legitimately sat there for I think like 2 or 3 hours just watching them and hanging out and chit chatting.
How much
at various points throughout the day? Like we would go back and sit there for like another 20 minutes and then
Favreau go to Disney Imagineering and go, hey, can you make us some of that for our production of Mando and Grogu? Like I guarantee you,
I wouldn't doubt that. That's why they're in Galaxy's Edge is because they were models made for the movie that they are repurposing for the theme parks.
I could see that because like if like BD1, as much as we love our boy BD1, like he's a video game character. Like he can do whatever he wants. He can jump around on Cal's shoulder and all of that. Like there's no physical limitations to that. So like these ones are far more practical, and you can have them walking around a set. Obviously, with Sigourney Weaver.
He's turning off his camera because he's pulling out the Brita filter to top up again.
Wait, pulling out what?
He's got a drinking problem.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You know, Luke, it's not a good thing to walk around a Stanley Cup like that. You know, I saw a video the other day of some girl like stealing like $1,000 worth of Stanley Cups from a Dick's Sporting Goods.
That's right.
Why? I don't know. Maybe she has a kid, and the only way that the kid can drink is out of Stanley Cups. I don't know.
This is going to be the most insane episode.
Delightfully, oddly specific.
In a while. Okay.
You never know.
It's their compulsion. I only steal Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
Boy.
It's truly amazing. Wow. Whole cop chase, like whole police chase because of Stanley Cups.
Silly.
Crazy.
Now, honestly, that's what I would do. Yeah. Anything for the cups. Hereth, you do that, right?
No, you would get in trouble for stealing magic cards and Pokemon.
Oh
cards.
No.
You'd be one of those dudes
the natural way, bro.
Tackling the countertop full of like
got my whole
Costco or whatever of all the Pokemon releases or whatever. It's crazy.
I got my whole damn binder here of all my shit.
Right.
Heck
I have so many binders. Wait, where's the SpongeBob card? Because of my SpongeBob secret list.
I didn't believe that those were going to be a thing, and then I saw them. I'm like, oh no, those are great. Counterspell's hilarious.
Look at Patrick.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing. And then the command tower is the pineapple. It's cool.
I mean, as we eagerly wait for more Mando and Grogu news, let's get back into Andor for a split second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how
Good
Marva
time
had like the most badass funeral of all time.
Yeah. The funeral, we haven't quite gotten there, but we can definitely talk about it. One of the things that when I was rewatching that funeral scene, especially when the riot started happening, like there's obviously, we talked about this when like Andor season 2 trailers were dropping of like a lot of the parallels. And like one of the things watching like the Imperial officers like with like the riot gear is like, it's very much like Kent State type stuff. And the thing that really stuck out to me, and Cal, you brought it up, was when you have a lot of the citizens of Ferrix, being gunned down, they hold the camera on them. And the other thing they do that is not quite like that, it's more just the dressing, it's like the costumes, is everyone on Ferrix is dressed differently. And so when someone goes down on Ferrix, it feels more like someone got shot versus when an Imperial goes down, it's just another gray uniform. And I think
just another stormtrooper or something.
Yeah. And they
like it's like it's a society.
Yeah. It's one of those things
rather than like individuals.
And this isn't like to be a knock against the First Order, and then the Force Awakens, but that scene with Lor Santeca and when the stormtroopers open fire on the village, like I felt like Ferrix, because of the costuming, because you spent so much time on Ferrix, when they say open fire at will, that has so much more gravity towards it than that opening scene of The Force Awakens.
I think that scene in The Force Awakens could have had more weight if we stayed in that space for like another 5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
Nothing huge, but like enough to like just some sweeping shots that this is a village of people.
Having one of the villagers interact with BB-8, or Poe Dameron realizing that like someone from his flight academy is living on this village, or something,
or even more simple than that, of literally just have some scenes of the camera working its way through the village until it gets to the tent where Poe Dameron's talking to Lor Santeca, right? Like just to make it feel real and lived.
I agree on that.
And Andor does that
to me.
And the thing is too, and the thing is like with Force Awakens, like you understand that it's just like a exchanging of the map of Luke from Lor Santeca to Poe and whatever, and then the First Order arrives. The difference between that and the Ferrix funeral is that the Empire's present for the entire ceremony. They're watching everything. They're just waiting for
the tension. Just palpable.
They're just waiting for the green light to do whatever they want.
But I think that's. Sorry to cut you off again, Hereth. Go ahead.
No, because I was gonna say, like, to me, like going back to like the Force Awakens versus Andor thing, I think a lot of the issues with what you guys are describing is an issue of like J.J. Abrams like Abraisms, where he's very focused on like having this very fast like tension where it's like go, we need to go here, we need to do this, we need to go here. It's like, wow, like, and again, that's an issue with this filmmaking, and it's like
the opposite of Andor.
Yeah,
he's very jump cutty in his production. And here's the thing about J.J. Abrams that I think is really good is he's very good at building excitement. Like the one thing you can't take away from Rise of Skywalker is it's an exciting film to watch. Like there's a lot going on. It's constantly just going, and you're
fun.
Yeah, it is there's lots going on. There's fun things, and the same can be said with The Force Awakens. But the way Tony Gilroy, he feels much more methodical. He feels like there's value in the lingering frames. Like I can't remember the character's name, but the character that Cassian calls, and that tells him that Marv is dead is the person they hold the frame on. Because it's like it's one of those things like even though you like I can't remember
you don't know his name, but you've seen him.
You know who he is. When you see him go down, you know who that is. Yeah. Like we've got to look it up on Wikipedia, and that's fine. That's fine. But it's not about the name, it's about who he is and his relationship with Cassian.
Guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Luke.
Trailer was dropped.
Oh,
for man.
At yes, for Celebration, which has me feeling we probably won't get it tonight. But Pedro and Sigourney Weaver are supposed to be on Good Morning America tomorrow. So it's more than likely they're gonna drop it then. But do you want me to read the synopsis that somebody has tweeted out of it?
Before you go into that, I just want to talk about how we're all talking about Andor, and then Luke's.
Sorry, I'm on new.
No, that's what it's supposed to be.
Hey, I am on news alert. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're like, we're gonna be talking about
breaking news.
That's why it's nice that there's more than one Podwan. It's not the Podwan podcast. It's the Podwan podcast.
Holy shit! I just found Char in real time. Holy fuck! Whoa!
Swole Hut.
Rada the Hutt. That's our first look at Rada the Hutt.
What if Hutt's worked out? Let's go.
So it looks like that's
better have a permit for that.
So wait, the rumors are true?
It makes me think that if they're showing steel, like they showed obviously a trailer for sure. That means that people were allowed to have their phones out, which makes me think that Disney's like, all right, fuck it, we'll release it later.
I think. Well, yeah, I agree.
And apparently Sigourney Weaver's hiring Din for a job.
I mean, it makes sense with what Din's going to be doing. So,
which in the leaked trailer from last year, he was writing a ATRT, wasn't it? ATRT?
I'll be honest, I'm just now realizing I don't think I've seen a single trailer for it.
Well, because none of it's been.
I don't think I've seen any Mando trailers.
All leaked trailers. That's why.
Nope. Hold on. There's a shot. Sorry, guys. I'm just finding more and more stuff.
I just find it funny that
it's happening live in Japan.
So it is. So we are right. ATATs, and he's writing a Clone Wars ATRT. I think those are what those are called.
Wait, let me. Yeah, that's an all-terrain reconnaissance transport right there, baby.
Yep, ATRT. He's writing one with Grogu on his back. So all of this is very, very, very interesting on how this is going to.
Star Wars and snow is always such a good vibe.
Oh, absolutely.
I know. Yeah, Luke's second favorite movie over here. Am I right?
Is this? Are these stills from the movie, or is this concept?
Who drops that?
This is stills. This is stills from the movie. This is a still from the movie.
Okay.
But that's what we've got.
Wait. Just back there for a second. Wait, Luke, why did you see a hut and say, "Wait, that's Char"?
Because he's swole.
He's jacked.
What do you think? I was calling you fat?
Is that nice or
Jesus.
mean?
It's
what
nice.
Is wrong with
it's a hut that is actually like built.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not forgetting. What's that? Is it Gracchus the hut?
I'm just more focused on the fact that
who's the swole hut? It's Gracchus, right? Or is it something with a G?
Of course. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh
yeah, Choco. Correct me if who's that swole hut? I thought it was Gracchus.
Hello,
dude. Look at the fit. That is a statement, and you know what? I don't hate it. He rocks it. Good for him.
Okay,
looks like a little German boy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
I look like a little German boy. Yeah, this was them.
Can we go back to Rada the Hutt? Because can we just acknowledge?
Do you want me to go back? Here, right here.
Is that actually Rada?
Can we acknowledge that those rumors were true?
Yeah, that's what.
The fact that we're going to be the actor, they're like, hey, main actor from The Bear. You know how you made this crazy Emmy award-winning performance? You want to be Rada the Hutt in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie?
That is so insane. I love it.
I think that's something.
Love it.
That's something people don't realize is that people want to be a part of Star Wars because it's so impactful. I think we talked about this maybe a little bit last week, or maybe it's just like people are happy to do it. Like Daniel Craig is a stormtrooper in the sequel trilogy. Like he's just like, put me in, coach. I want to be in Star Wars. I don't even care if my face is there.
Star Wars is more than just like movies and the occasional show, right? There's a reason why Celebration happens. There's a reason why there's a theme park for it, right?
Yeah, the actors of this generation, like keep in mind, like A New Hope turns 50 in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people who are stars and celebrities today, they grew up with Star Wars. So yeah, they want to be a part of this because it's probably one of the reasons they got into this career in the first place. So
yeah,
it's usually like a privilege for people to do it.
Even looking at like Ewan McGregor and him having his uncle in as Wedge Antilles, right?
Yeah. So back
there's
to
people that like it's in their family too. Like it's,
right.
So here's another to go back on Chase's thoughts here. So here's some more official things. Starring Ryan Gosling, obviously, it's a standalone film set around 5 or 6 years after Episode 9, which we already knew that, and we also knew
bring back some sequel
that which hints at, I would say, Poe. Poe is the most.
Yeah, Poe makes
maybe Wedge.
Poe, Wedge, maybe. Yeah, I can see that.
Dennis could be in it. You know, he was in Rise of Skywalker.
He was in Rise, yeah.
He was in Vision, so he's still working with Lucasfilm. So like, there's
I could see it as a
potential
cameo,
for,
not like a big role.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them to do. I mean, also like, rest in peace. I don't know if we talk. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer, and like, going. We should rewatch. We should watch as a group Top Gun Maverick because like that's his last film, and it's like
absolutely
the way they put him in there was really really respectful and
really well done as well. Apparently we're getting Pedro with his helmet off, which is
that makes sense.
Big.
The movie.
Honestly, for a movie, yeah, you need to have one of your main actors.
It didn't come off in season 3, did it?
No,
I don't think it's because obviously Pedro's like role and like Mando has been like more like less and less as the season's gone on because I think it's just Pedro's been more busy. So I think that's why we didn't really get a mask off scene in season 3 is because Pedro.
Well, I also think that was a big part of the whole point of season 3 was he was going to make amends for taking it off.
Yeah,
he's going to Mandalore for that. So like, it would be really weird for him to be like, never mind.
Oh, you can't get enough of this pretty face. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I brought us to this planet for this reason.
Also Simon Kinberg's getting a trilogy, by the way.
We knew that.
Yeah, we knew that too. We knew that.
Oh, okay.
That was announced like summer last year or fall last year, I think was.
Wait, is that actually like artwork from it, or is that just reused stuff?
No, that's from the Jedi Secret.
Oh, that's a cover of
Secrets
what
of the
about
Jedi.
That's Secrets of the Jedi right there. Yeah.
It's just a
that's
shot from Blade Runner.
That is
okay, never mind.
That's just Rise of Skywalker, and then there's the Star Wars. But again, and I've talked about this when it was originally announced in London. I am most excited for the new Jedi, not the new Jedi, but the beginning of the Jedi with James Mangold.
Dawn of the Jedi,
Everything that I've seen of James Mangold is like, holy fuck! I cannot wait for his movie to come out.
Right.
Like I cannot wait.
Speaking of
he's been nominated for Oscars.
Different takes.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Andor.
Oh yeah.
But before we get back to Andor, Luke, how do you feel that we got a live action Rod of the Hutt before we see Dexter Jettster again?
Oh, that
hurts, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, it's also we were talking about birthdays. It's Hayden Christensen's birthday, so happy birthday to Hayden.
Happy birthday, Hayden.
Happy birthday, Hayden.
Fellow Aries. April birthdays.
All right. Anyway,
sorry. My birthday was last week.
Yeah.
So one thing that I kind of actually backtracking here.
I had a note that I was gonna make.
Go for it.
Because I was gonna say, if we had Tony Gilroy as the director for the intro to Force Awakens for that moment, I do genuinely feel like we would have had a slower start where it would have been kind of like a day in the life of the village, because it's for them, it's out of nowhere.
Yeah,
for
it is.
Poe, it's rushed, and he knows that people are coming, and he needs to get this information and leave quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like it would have been kind of that slow start into the tent of them talking, And we would have been like, wait, why is this new pilot guy? Why is he like anxious?
Right. And like I can
Why
imagine
is he worried? And then we hear explosions and the First Order's here, and it means so much more because now this calm, peaceful place has literally just been gunned down by the First Order. And I think it would have set a much more potent tone to the First Order being a lot more ruthless.
Right. And like I could see the visual shot of like them like on Jakku looking up and then the X-Wing flying down there. Like, who the hell is this person? And then like all the chaos that ensues from that. I can visually see that in my brain.
I don't think it would have started with the X-Wing. Like, he would have already been landed. Right?
But I'm saying, like, I could see, like, the chaos of all that happening.
Yeah, like Kylo Ren's ship coming in and stuff like that. Like, that would have been, I think, the kind of, a in my opinion, a better hook. But, you know.
Yeah. I think
that, and speaking of pilots, do you think in Andor Season 2 we're going to see this guy?
No.
Bodhi?
You're not going to see.
No.
You don't think we're going to see Bodhi?
No.
Based on one of the more recent interviews with Tony Gilroy,
we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he and like, look, this could also be a ploy, right? You know, like a little like, oh yeah, we're not doing that. He said he said he has no interest in Andor Season 2 of doing fan service cameos. Like, he does not want to do it.
Good.
Not that Bodhi couldn't be helpful. What was that?
Yeah, keyword fan service. Like, you can put him in the correctly.
You can,
because I mean, who knows how long he's been,
because
spying for Galen.
People could argue Mon Mothma's fan service, but at the same time, she's not, because she actually
she's clearly
she's an important part of the show.
Yeah, but I think it's more of like, are we putting him in here because he was in Rogue One, or are we putting him here because it's like
it makes sense to have him?
It's beneficial.
I think it's
I don't
one of those things,
think it would be though.
If we're having Mads Mikkelsen potentially be in Andor Season 2, you have a better case of him kind of giving the plans.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
But so when we were talking about when Chase brought up the point of talking about recasting, right? Which Tony Gilroy came in and said. He said that we would have loved to have all of the cast back together. It just money-wise, scheduling, all of this. People jumped to the conclusion that Jimmy Smits was not going to be in the show, which is very, very it could be. Yeah. But I feel like for him, he would jump on he would clear his schedule and do stuff.
Bail Organa.
Oh yeah,
Bail.
Okay.
I think, and this is where my brain goes to, I think it's either Tarkin or Leia. Just like they did, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do the recasting bit and see if they can get away
for who's going to be recasted.
I hope it's not Leia.
It's Tarkin.
Yeah,
I don't want Leia either. They've already saw the mistakes that they made with the CG Tarkin. The backlash that CG Tarkin got. Please don't remake Leia. Please don't recast Leia.
I would not mind if they brought back the Tarkin actor from Rogue One, but they don't CGI his face.
Time out.
No.
Wait. Time out. We're saying that we're not okay with being recasting Leia?
I don't want Leia to be recasted.
Not.
Why?
She already has.
What are you talking about?
Well, as a kid, not Carrie Fisher.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I thought we were talking about. Is like I don't want Leia to be in this because Vivian's not old enough yet.
That's what I'm getting at.
Ooh, that too. Well,
she's not old enough too. If they brought in a third actor,
yeah, I want her to continue to be Leia.
I want her to continue to be Leia at some point in the future. It wouldn't make sense to bring in a whole
within the
other
time frame of the show, you're already way too close to Carrie Fisher's
I don't want them to bring in a 16-year-old girl to be a Leia right now. I would not like that.
Also, it goes back to the Tony Gilroy quote about fan service, but also at the same time, like I don't see a natural fit for Leia in the story. I see a natural fit for Bail. I could see a natural fit for Brea, but not Leia. I don't see where that could fit in.
I will play devil's advocate here because what do you mean she doesn't have a place? What are you talking about?
She always.
It's the rebellion.
Yeah.
She's of course going to be involved.
But okay, like let's to kind of get more
Yeah,
back
but
on
it all
track.
depends on where and when will they be involved.
Because one of the things to tie it back into Andor season 1, and this is something that really I definitely noticed it when Andor was first coming out, but hitting it again is on Niamos with Melshi and Andor and Cassian. Is Melshi is saying like we need to tell everyone. Like we, if we're the only 2 people that survived from Narkina, we have to tell everyone. And they're looking out onto the beach. And it's like they are both going to die, telling everyone the horrors of the Empire.
How did I not put those pieces together?
And I was just like, I hate this so much. Like it's so good, it's so well done, but it's just like looking at it, and it's like their whole goal on Scarif is to tell the world about the Death Star, the thing that they built that's going to kill them, and they're looking out on the beach to do it. But
I mean, that's also kind of like the poetry of the post-credit scene after the finale, right? Is like,
well, you see, here's the thing. I don't think that's possible because I actually rewatched Rogue One yesterday. It wasn't until Rogue One when Cassian found out that the Death Star was a thing.
Well, we're talking about like the symbolism of like of like the visuality of like Cassian dies on the beach of Scarif and the Death Star and all that.
They're
like parallel
what the Empire is doing. They need to tell. They need to tell.
Okay,
it's not like about the Death Star. It's just the fact that they're so inhumanely keeping people for like because I mean he was arrested for no reason. He was on a beach watching some stuff go down and he got caught in it, and now he's in a prison camp with electrocuted floors making machinery all day every day for no reason.
And it's also very important that when he goes into that hotel room where like the alien couple is sleeping, which I think is kind of funny, but like he accidentally flips open Nemik's manifesto during that whole sequence. Like he accidentally does that. And it's obviously very intentional on Tony Gilroy's point that he does that. And so like this is, I really feel that like, yes, there's part of Narkina that was like, all right, this is way worse than I could have possibly imagined it being. Like there's a part of him getting arrested is like, oh no, like, yeah, like there's a misunderstanding. You don't need to arrest me. And then they give him 6 years in Narkina. And then
in reality, he finds out is a life sentence.
Yes. And there's so many things happening to him, but I do think it is the moment with Melshi on Niamos, when he knocks open that manifesto and Nemik's voice starts playing.
Yeah.
And then he's on the beach with Melshi and they're like, and he's like, we have to tell people, like, we don't know who survived. And if no one else survived, it's up to us. And I think that's the moment that Cassian truly makes up his mind about joining the rebellion. Like he goes to Ferrix predicting that Luthen's gonna be there and that it may not go well for him, but he's got to do something. And it's just the end of episode 11, like it hit so hard watching it this time around because of like a lot of the implications we've been getting through the trailers of season 2. And then kind of going back and rewatching Rogue One a bunch of times. And it's like, man, this is like in some ways, it's a tough show to get through a lot of ways. Because it's just like the way that they pull so many different facets of Star Wars and the impacts together. It's just like,
it's
gut punch after gut punch.
Constantly. Yeah, it's one thing to watch Star Wars as like a movie in the Skywalker saga and see, the Empire and stuff like that. And be, oh yeah, but like we got the Jedi and like Han Solo can't be hit. And it's, you're watching it through the lens of like action heroes. But when you're watching it from the perspective of Cassian and normal people, like boots on the ground people that are just living their lives and how the Empire exists and how like fascism and just the machine of the Empire just destroys and corrupts and like is just so relentless, right? Like it's an unfeeling, I think, is really the biggest part for me. that they don't see people as people. They see them as assets or hindrances.
And I feel like that like really parallels like what Dedra is doing in these 2 episodes, where it's like this conversation with Cassian and Melshi goes into what Dedra is doing during these episodes of like, yeah, all I care about is Cassian and Luthen. Everyone else can just kind of, this is just all like window dressing and all that. And it's like the way that like Andor is just paralleling real life, and like how like U.S. military has done similar operations in like Iraq and other countries and like Vietnam. And it's like, yeah, we don't really care about this. Like, we just care about like the assets around them and like what matters to that. And it's like, how Tony Gilroy just like kind of ties modern politics and the previous politics. It just feels very Star Warsy in its like messaging.
It also just feels very real.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like it helps you understand how a lot of this stuff can happen, right? Because like Star Wars is very high fantasy a lot of times. And when you think of like the Empire, like, well, there's no way that could actually happen, or like people would be a part of the Empire or whatever the case might be. But then you start to see like, no, this is how people fall into this stuff. This is how this all kind of boils and turns into what it is.
Yeah, 100%. Anything fun?
More news?
Breaking news?
Nick sent me texts on footage of Mando and Grogu.
Wait, Nick, like CF, Nick?
He has children. Nick,
And
he has
NDY.
children.
Canadian
I
Nick.
thought he meant
Canadian
code
Nick.
name. Okay, continue.
No,
Nope.
well, he's there. He's there as well.
Okay.
I asked, how was the footage? I said we already know about Rod of the Hutt. He goes, it was great. One shot of Din taking down the soldiers in the AT-AT. Zeb is in it. We knew, and I said we knew that as well. Sigourney is working for the New Republic, which pretty obvious. And then Grogu takes apart a mouse droid with the Force. So our little man is using the Force
To
He's using the
massacre
Force for a
tiny
while.
little baby droid.
But now he's skilled.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
I'm thinking
love to see it.
that Sigourney Weaver, yes, she's working for the New Republic, but I think her character is going to be fleshed out in other media.
Yeah.
Like how
I could see
she
that.
gets to that point.
Hopefully.
It could be, yeah. I mean, could show up in Ahsoka season 2 with Hera and Ezra and that whole shebang.
I
So,
wouldn't
it's
be
possible.
shocked if they made a cameo, but then again, like I feel like they're gonna save those.
No, I
characters
feel like it
for
wouldn't be a
Ahsoka.
cameo, but like you have to, if you're gonna show this character, you really need to like give a proper introduction to it, because Mando and Grogu is gonna be like the culmination of all this.
No, it's not.
Unless
So,
there's just
to my
something that's just not.
Well,
So-
Heir of the Empire is supposed to be happening.
or Dave Filoni's untitled movie. We still don't know if it's officially called Heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
So like,
which by the way wasn't mentioned during when they were going down and talking about movies that are coming that are still in development. His wasn't in it. Notice that.
so like, I'm curious. Like again, Luke, you correct me if I'm wrong. So like, is Mando and Grogu fully replacing season 4? Like, is season 4 Mandalorian off the table entirely?
I don't
It
know
is-
if that
it's-
question was. I don't know if that question was asked, but I would have to assume it is.
So we're going
Yeah,
Mando,
there's no
Grogu,
way.
Ahsoka season 2,
Yes.
maybe Skeleton Crew season 2 if they could fit it in, but I doubt they will. And then we're going into Filoni's movie. It's probably the
Yeah.
structure of how it's gonna go.
Probably.
And then
They
we'll-
have a lot to set up with this Ahsoka season 2, and the fact that the Ahsoka season 2 is not trailer. The Ahsoka season 2 panel is at midnight on Friday night. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
I'm just stoked that Rada the Hutt's back. I was waiting for Rada for a long time. I don't know how.
Yeah.
What was it?
So
Since
that's what I've got
2008?
for. That's what we've got
Jesus.
for. I saw the trailer and it looks amazing. Awesome. Good things. People are loving it online.
My
That's
punky
great.
muffin, my stinky, he's back.
Wait,
Sick.
Rada the Hutt is Jabba the Hutt's son, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Shit! That's awesome.
The Clone Wars movie,
Oh,
buddy.
Luke. Yeah.
I forgot that
Did
his
you just-
name was
did you
Rada
just
the
realize
Hutt.
that?
Yeah, I
didn't
did.
know Well, who did you think it was?
I don't
It's another
know.
hut.
Okay, it's not
A
Book
hut
of
from
Boba Fett with the
Legends,
twins. Like
But I
Ron
wanna
is
be
a
a
huge
fly.
deal. It's crazy.
I want to be a fly on the wall, like when like whoever pitched that to Filoni and Favreau were like, "All right, I got the idea of the century. Let's bring back Stinky, but the actor of the bear." Like I want to just be there, like when that got pitched, like just like this is so crazy of a
Is
concept.
it the same actor playing the thing, or is it a different actor? I haven't seen the bear.
The main actor, like the main guy from the bear, like
That means nothing to me. I don't know who.
Hold on, I will show you.
You know what I'm curious about is how old Rada is, because Hutts lived for a long time. Jabba the Hutt died at 604 years old. So
Ryan Gosling and Sean Levy or Sean Levi, I don't know how you say his last name. Levy. They're on the celebration stage right now.
Oh shit! That takes priority.
Is any of this being like live streamed?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
yeah.
I was gonna say, remember them live streaming the celebration stage, and
that's pretty much the only.
I'm gonna say this. I'm glad to see Noah Calhoun, first of all, Ryan Gosling and Sean Levy, like in person doing this versus just announcements, that are just titles.
Yeah.
Like this makes it feel more real.
Lando.
Star Wars is chock full of them.
Well, because Chase and I were predicting before, like, we thought Sean Levy's movie would just be kind of like them appearing on screen and going, "Hey, this is happening," and then like it would just be over. So the fact that they're actually there is really cool.
I never thought.
Well, it's reassuring that it's going to actually happen, and not like, "Hey, we're going to release a Lando project," and we still haven't heard anything.
Yeah, they're actually cementing it in the future of the franchise. So it's great. It's honestly great. As opposed to just words.
Time frame. We have the actors on celebration stage. It's actually going to be a thing.
Do we want to switch? Do you want me to bring the live stream up on this?
I'm cool with that.
I don't know how fast we'll get taken down, though.
I don't care. I think it's fine.
All right, that's fine.
Will we get taken down?
We can always just edit this out of the podcast.
If we're commentating over it and being excited about it, it sounds like reactionary content.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's no reason for it.
I mean, it doesn't need to be like blaringly loud to the point where if any Star Wars songs comes on, it's going to get demonetized. But like, people react to stuff all the time.
Right.
Like that sweet bike.
Let's see it.
Look at them bike pumps, lime green. Stylish.
I mean, I don't mind going back.
What are you doing, Chase?
Start of the stream.
I was gonna pop it up.
Yeah.
He was gonna go.
Oh, are you gonna do it through StreamYard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have it pulled up. Do you want? Okay, never mind. You got it. All right.
All right.
Can you hear it?
Full screen.
No, can't hear it.
No.
Okay, maybe I screwed it up.
Could you hear mine when I was doing it?
No.
We heard the stuff. Yeah.
We heard yours. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you heard mine
for time.
Just when you
pull yours up because you're the alpha.
Rewind it to when they actually come out on stage. I want to start from from the beginning forward.
Char, no.
I mean, we could probably start from here.
What'd you say?
He said you're the alpha.
Cal, would you be remiss if I told you that I just deleted like Dead by Daylight about an hour ago?
No. I haven't played it in a hot minute.
Man,
can you guys hear it?
Yeah, we can hear it. Can you go full screen?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, the fact that you have YouTube and not dark mode upsets me deeply.
Same with.
Our next guests are taking their first step into the larger world with their
Kristen
Star Wars
Beaver.
Celebration debut. One is no stranger thing to the merc with a mouth, and the other is more than Knuff. Let's give a warm welcome to Sean Levy and Ryan Levy.
Who's
it's literally me.
I mean, I thought
I'm Ryan Gosling.
No, Sean Levy did Deadpool and Wolverine. It was a reference to him being the director of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, he's a director, not an actor. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. That's
oh
me,
my gosh!
Just in case if you forgot.
This would be so cool.
I am Ryan Gosling.
He is such a big fan. Did you guys? Did I tell you the his thing like his mom took a picture because he told her that he was coming to this, and she sent a picture of his bed, like his childhood bed, and it was Empire Strikes Back sheets.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I do like the energy on the celebration floor room when you're there is so intense.
I do love how they're not doing studio showcase and they're doing it through the live stage. I think that's so cool especially for Japan.
Yeah,
And it also spreads everyone out more.
Not being able to be there too.
Yeah, it spreads everyone out more. Plus, like everyone's not all in one room seeing all the cool information. It's like it's all spread out through the convention center.
Hi.
Hi.
That's 10.
It's a nice place you got here.
I do love it too because
welcome to Navarro.
the people that go to
Mind if we sit down?
celebrations
Make yourself
for
cozy,
Star
Brian.
Wars are like genuine Star Wars fans, right? Like you don't fly to Japan or fly to London or go out to LA to spend time going to these things waiting in lines if you don't love Star Wars. And so, like, when this stuff happens and they're kind of inducting a new actor into Star Wars, and everybody's like, yeah! I'm sure that's got to be, like, the coolest feeling for them. To be like, okay, I wasn't sure how this was going to be received,
We're
but,
so
like...
happy to have you, and welcome to the Star Wars family.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
cool.
you for having us.
Because I remember the energy of being on the floor, like whenever they were like bringing actors
both.
out or being announcement.
For both celebrations, it was like that.
Yeah,
it was just like holy. Well, I will say, Anaheim was a different type of vibe because it was Hayden and Ewan's first time being back.
I'm so glad we
and
can finally say the words.
Anything could have topped that moment. When they came out to the live stage, when we were sitting in Chaco and Pep's like thing, I'm like, oh, dude, do I get up? And that was also when we were dealing with, man, I'm gonna get into the Kenobi premiere.
It was Luke, turn on the volume if you're gonna.
Yeah.
Luke, turn the volume of the stream.
Exactly what we needed. This is the perfect
kind of
place to start this journey.
Yeah,
for
hard
us.
to hear you over.
Well, because
it's I mean, that's
part
of the react side of it.
Yeah, much better, much better.
This movie and
all right,
who we're gonna make this movie for.
Yeah, like I totally 100% agree with you. Like the vibes at Celebration, especially on the floor, is just so great. And I think this is an example. Celebration every year is an example of what the Star Wars community truly is. It's not the people online that are being shitheads.
It's literally a ginormous room full of passion and people that care and people that are excited and optimistic about the future of Star Wars, as opposed to the other side of the franchise that's so down and screw you for liking anything 2012 past. Like the Debbie Downers of the bunch. Like these are the people that will dedicate their time, their money, and all their effort into coming here and enjoying as much as they can.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was just listening to that with the whole like what Sean Levy just said about the new characters after episode 9.
So many opportunities
after the Battle of
a Star
Exegol.
Wars story that has all the heart and action and fun of Star Wars, but to do it in ways that are new and original. And so that starship, that peak of that starship, is just one example of the design of a world that we haven't seen on screen.
And in an era we haven't seen yet on screen. Like
Chase, I think you're getting your Top Gun Star Wars movie with this.
I know there's
if they're not going to do Rogue Squadron, that's probably what this is going to be.
And and we've been saying that would be fucking sick if we had a Top Gun Star Wars movie.
The groan, all right.
You know?
I can't say much about Starfighter, but how far along are we in the development process? Can you give us some hints?
I mean, here's the news. Like, we're not in development. We all know there's
all right.
Takes time.
There you go.
I'm getting this.
We're not in development. We're in pre.
I'm getting the shivers right now. I miss this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're in pre-production.
So we're going to start shooting this fall to come out May 27th, 27.
All right.
This is so much more than we've gotten post Rise of Skywalker. Like not like setting wise, like just post that movie coming out.
Can we get a close up of the hat?
Yeah, from like official sources. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Never tell me the odds. I love that hat. I need that hat.
I think it's just
I don't need the hat. I have it tattooed on my chest. I'm all good.
As we embark on this journey, I think it's going to be a bit of a touchstone for us.
Because obviously you take on Star Wars, you take on something that's this beloved. It's intimidating. There's
It is.
You're scared.
It absolutely
you're
is.
nervous, you get
It is
right.
insane
But we
how
have a
much
feeling
these
that with
people
this story,
like
with this collaboration,
just
we can
The
get it
pressure
right.
they're under to
We don't
make
want
something
anyone
that's going to be
Yeah.
well
We're
received.
just gonna do it.
absolutely.
That's why, like,
Yeah,
whenever like fans of a thing go after the
Also, Ryan, during the
like,
panel, we saw that your mom
you know,
was in on
actors
the
or
announcement.
Here we go.
whomever.
She
It's like,
was
no.
so excited she
This is
shared
what
an
I was
image
talking
of
about, his
some
mom.
Empire Strikes Back bed sheets that you had as a kid.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like
my mom sent my Empire Strikes Back sheets from when I was 5. I thought send pictures of our sheets though. Mine was the only one?
I think she's the only one that got the memo.
Your mom did too? All right, cool.
All right, yeah.
They just pointed at a random person.
Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
I don't know how well versed any of you are on like Ryan Gosling's body of work outside of like Barbie and The Notebook.
He's done Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, he's done so many
films.
Like,
and
he is
so many
so
different
What was the
genres.
movie? What was the
crazy
movie that he
talented.
did with his wife? He's married to Eva Mendes. What was that movie that he did with her? Where he was like coated in tattoos and forgetting what that's called.
I think it framed my idea.
I don't remember.
He's been in La La Land. Like he's been in so much
he's-
stuff, dude.
He's been in a lot of
The
things.
script is just so good.
That's why, like, I'm part of me
Oh,
surprised
they-
he hasn't.
they
done
have a
so much,
script.
but-
Is
It has so
like
much adventure, so much heart, and original characters. It's an opportunity to shine a light into a side of the universe.
Original
that we
characters,
may
but
not
which
have
ones
seen.
though? Oh man,
It's
the
just
original
so
ones that we haven't ever heard
definitely
of.
Poe.
Sean is
Definitely
the best
Poe.
at that, so-
No, but
Yeah.
original
Maybe
characters.
Finn.
No,
Maybe
no,
Finn.
not returning.
I know.
Wolverine
Original.
fan.
He said
No,
original
Today.
characters,
Yeah.
not like original trilogy,
Yes,
but
all
like
right. And-
No.
original
I mean
to
like
this
like
production.
And do you have? I know there's very little you can say at this point.
Oh, didn't we just bring up Poe like
Although there's very
an
little
hour
you can
ago?
say
Yeah,
with
but
this
he's
show.
not an
I'm so
original
excited
character
have you here.
to
But is
Starfighter.
there a message that you want to share with the
He's
Sure,
from
yeah.
the-
Hold on.
First just stepping onto
Oh.
this into this journey.
Sorry, there's just about a
Well,
question.
just that we're one
Mhm.
of them. We're one of them. We're fans too. So it's like, there's obviously a relationship between these stories and the audience, but we've spent our lives in that audience.
Yeah.
And we know how meaningful it is. But as Ryan said, it's a big galaxy. It's a big galaxy out there, and it feels like there's an opportunity to do a movie that's not a prequel, that's not a sequel, and gives us the Star Wars DNA that we love, but with an adventure that's all new.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
You know what?
yeah.
You know what? Oh, jeez. Yeah, go ahead, Chase. Sorry.
Being here and seeing
No,
all of you is just more
it's to me
inspiring
this
to
is
do
just
it
one of those
with
things
so
that like
much
I feel like I have been like
creativity and
saying
imagination
to
in
not
this
just
room,
like on podcasts and
and
stuff like
there's
that,
so
but just
much
saying to people
love.
is it's just
It's
like
why we-
there
this
are
is such a
like
great
no matter
reminder
what
of
studio
why
we're talking about, we could be
making-
talking about Marvel, we could be talking
how
about
much movies
DC, we
can
could be
mean
talking
to
about
us,
whatever.
and specifically how much these movies mean to
There's
us.
so much in the pipeline that
And
we
I
don't
think,
know
you know,
about,
the
and
Force
this is
Definitely.
one of them.
is a mysterious
And it's
thing,
like,
but I
But
think
it's
we-
no
here,
longer
I feel
mysterious.
like the
It's
Force
Right.
happening.
is the
It's
fans.
in pre-production.
And
Like
Yeah.
this is one of those things.
I
This
think
is what I
all
think is
we
so
can hope
exciting, and this
for
is
is
why
that,
I
you know,
try
that,
not
you know,
to
may
get
the
so
fans
worked
be with
up and
us.
hyped up over like some random announcement that has like no
Beautiful.
actual
Well
details
said.
behind it. It's just a
All
title.
right, I know you need
Is
to get
because
going
like
and get
yeah,
back
it's like
to
sure
the
anyone
productions.
in
I
a
wanna see
board
this
meeting
movie,
can
and
say
we're
yeah, this
going
sounds
to
like
see
a
this
good
movie
idea,
Memorial Day
greenlight it, and then
2027.
maybe it just gets
A
pushed
week
to the
later.
wayside.
With it.
Yeah.
We're
This
Like,
is
that's funding.
real,
excited
and
to
we
have
didn't
you
know
in the
anything about
galaxy.
it.
Thank you so
Mhm.
much. Thank you
So
much.
I think
Thanks
this
for
is
having me.
this is the coolest stuff. Like even obviously it's right up my alley, but like
Doesn't stop
even
you.
if this
Keep
weren't
watching for more
Starfighter, if
from
this
Star
were
Wars
And it
like
was just like a different movie entirely. Yeah,
the,
it's still
the
cool that
gangs
this
of
can happen.
Coruscant, you know,
Mhm.
amazing
Gambling
like,
movie.
We
And you're
didn't
like, oh,
know
okay.
anything about this. Like that to me is the most exciting thing, and I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people in the fandom get so worked up over like a title of a movie or a show that was brought up like 6 years ago, and I'm like, I'm so much more excited for stuff like this, where it's just like
yeah.
Palpable.
we had no idea,
And
and they're
Yeah.
they have it in production. They're getting ready
Yeah.
to start it, not just
Oh,
like we're getting ready
shit.
to think about it.
right,
Oh shit!
what?
Yeah, that trailer got fucking leaked.
I figured it would.
Yeah. The shot that the shot that Nick was telling me about, I'm watching it on Twitter right now. I am not throwing that in the fucking nope. We are not getting
calling Cornhorn stand in. We're gonna go in thinking it's all about pilots and starfighters and has no connection to mysticism in the
on
Force.
Twitter.
Huh?
I'm not on.
I don't have it on. That'd be cool. They had Cornhorn in canon.
God damn it! Here,
I don't think they'll bring Cornhorn into canon. He was your I can do everything boy, if that makes sense.
As the grifters would say, I marry Sue.
Yes. The emphasis they put on original characters, like I think with any character you will see parallels to other characters. I don't think that. Ooh, I am so sorry. I don't think that Pep is wrong. I think stand-in, I think, is also maybe a little bit like, I don't think they'll even do it that close. I think that there are aspects of someone like Cornhorn, but also aspects of someone like Dash Rendar that could show up in any. But I think you can have, like what they said, the Star Wars DNA. You can have that Cornhorn DNA. You can have the Dash Rendar DNA. You can have the Starkiller DNA, right? But I think it's so much more important, especially at this point, to have an interesting character that we haven't seen before, that does interesting things and doesn't follow tropes and doesn't follow like everyone was asking for, Wedge Antilles stories. Here's your Wedge Antilles stories, or Wedge Antilles adjacent story. Like, as much as I love Wedge, I want to hear the story of Gaper Bingzoid, having his original journal. He's obviously going to be in every Star Wars project moving forward.
Hereth, did you watch it?
No. Yeah, Chase, you're absolutely right.
It's like you should send it to everybody on Discord.
It's like
I sent it to everybody in the stream.
It's like the Kyle Katarn Blue Point Finn.
That's it.
Originally.
Yes. Yeah. You can take
come here.
Aspects of existing characters and bake them in. But I think it's just one of those things, like, we can even look at like parallels to Rey, like you said with Finn, parallels, that have other characters, parallels to Poe. But like, I think it is important that these characters get to stand and breathe on their own, and that like we can develop new relationships with whoever Ryan Gosling is playing. Maybe he's a pilot, maybe he isn't. Like I have always said, when it came to Rogue Squadron, like, here's the things that would, like, if I'm brainstorming in my room and making the perfect Rogue Squadron movie for me, it will sound so cool in my head. But the most exciting thing would be going to a theater, watching Rogue Squadron, watching Starfighter, and being surprised. And just being
the big
like,
thing is that Gosling's pilot character will be Force sensitive.
I cannot. I'm sorry, Pep, but this is where I am like, can we just have him be a regular guy? Be a regular pilot.
I was gonna say I would prefer that. I don't think that he's wrong. I think that
I'm taking the over on that.
There. I'm gonna give him a 50-50. Like,
I'm gonna give it no.
All right.
I'm gonna give.
I hope. I think with them saying specifically that this is a part of something that like feels very Star Wars, but isn't a prequel or sequel or anything like that wants to be
sure, but like this is also post episode 9 too, so like the galaxy is very different now. You have no idea.
I obviously like Sean Levy saying this, I fully believe the sentence. I still think that they're doing something interesting that Star Wars hasn't done in a while, which is we're setting up New Jedi Order through movies and probably TV shows. Like, when was the last time we've done that where Star Wars is working forward and not here's something here, we're going to work retroactively, go back to it?
Not since the prequel trilogy, I would say.
Is Ryan Gosling's character going to be someone who leads up to the New Jedi Order? I think that's a possibility. But I'm going to stand with Char and Cal on this. I really hope.
I hope not. I hope so. I hope not either, but I also can look at it from a marketing standpoint, Ryan
Sure,
Gosling
sure.
with a fucking lightsaber. Really? You're gonna tell me that that's not gonna?
No, but
be a-
here's the thing that I'm thinking
don't
about
want it.
too, because you have a
I mean, I don't want it either, but from a marketing
you have
standpoint, it makes sense.
like like think about this though. You have a dude in an X-wing, pilot outfit, blonde hair, lightsaber. What do you think of? Like what we just talked about earlier. Yeah, like come on. Like exactly
For me,
right.
that's
Like you're
too
gonna
on the nose of Star Wars DNA.
right.
And,
yeah,
and
right.
like with the exception of Hera, Han, and Wedge, right?
Mhm.
Every pilot in Star Wars ends up being force sensitive.
And Poe.
But like
everyone is
Luke-
in some aspect.
yeah,
True,
like
but-
Luke, and you think about Luke, you think about Anakin, you go back and you look at like some characters from the High Republic, even you go back into like Knights of the Old Republic, you get this like you do get these like. It's something I had a very interesting conversation with like Nick, codename Fulcrum, about this when we had like an episode on his thing, that I was like, to me, it's so much more exciting when we explore the elements of someone who is skilled at flying, like Hera, like Han, when they don't have the force to help them out. Like to me, that is the more captivating and interesting story.
Yeah,
we're at the Hot Toys section of the panels. What's happening?
I love my Hot Toys.
Let's drop $300. Let's go.
I love my Hot Toys.
To kind of touch on Pep's point, like I didn't want him to have any connection to the Jedi, and I didn't want him to have any force sensitivity. I was kind of disappointed by
what
it.
did Pep say? All right, though. Let's be real now. How many of us preferred there to not be any connection to Jedi and Skeleton Crew, and how many of us were disappointed Jedi ended up having a connection? Honestly, I wasn't too upset about it. Like I knew that there was going to be some sort of connection.
I think upset's a strong word, or disappointed's a strong word.
I think the way they
I would have
handled
preferred
it
it
was
to
really
not.
good. I think
I
they
would say
handled him
oddly
really well.
surprised. Because you would think like it's about
didn't they say in the promotion like he was going to be a Jedi?
Yeah.
Like I don't think there was any surprise there.
I didn't see any promotion.
Yeah, I remember them saying like, yeah, it was like he's a Jedi, in some way, shape, or form.
Maybe no, because I remember them playing the clip of like Jaws being like kind of being like ambitious, like I don't know, maybe, and it's like is he not kind of playing that up?
Either way, like
Hondo Waka.
I'm not against this story having some type of connection to the Force and stuff like that, but
Outlaws.
Yeah, we knew.
Yeah,
that.
we knew about that.
Oh, hi, I am Hondo Onaka.
All right, I will go fuck myself. Thank you.
Yep.
What did we know?
I think they're showing the Outlaws DLC with Hondo and Naka.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't play Outlaws either, so.
Oh, Outlaws is really good,
dude. Yeah,
it's just expensive, and I don't want to pay
like
Luke
and I last like not that long ago we were talking about like getting Outlaws and playing it because like we haven't tried the game out, so
yeah, it's good.
It looks like a fantastic game that's 100% up my alley.
Streamed it, and I would
I'm
love
just at
something
the
like
point...
that, but it's just like I never really was like that interested in it. Not like Fallen Order and Survivor, like that. Like grabbed my attention like a fish hook.
So here's the thing that stinks: is I have Survivor. I haven't played Survivor. I haven't finished it. I want to play Outlaws too. I just don't like where I'm at right now. I don't have the free time to spend on a single player game a whole lot.
Fair.
In my free time, when it's like single player time, I'm catching up on shows that I'm super far behind on. I've started learning guitar. Like, I'm not going to pay $70 to have a game sit on my shelf. So like I was like, I'll get Outlaws when it goes on sale. Like I really want to play it. It's one that I've been following, and I really
going on sale
really
recently.
Want to play,
so it's probably a good time to wish list it because it has been going on sale recently.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes on sale during Celebration to kind of like push.
Yeah, I could see that.
Let me check Steam because that would be rad. Because like I said, I want to play it. It's 100% up my alley.
Yeah,
I have literally a playlist from. Was it 2012 or 2011 from playing The Old Republic as a smuggler still that I listened to. because like I love the smuggler life in Star Wars. So Outlaws is 100% up my alley.
Yeah, I just never really had.
It's still $70.
I mean, I definitely
have
have had the time to play. It's just I never really had the urge to.
Yeah, wish listed because I did see it go on sale like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I do want to play it though, and that's why I like the DLC with Hondo. Sounds awesome because who doesn't love Hondo?
Yeah,
that's right.
I actually recently finished the game because I played it when it first came out. I didn't finish it.
Sorry, that's so accurate. So
people in the live stream chat are like, "Japan internet sucks," and I'm like, "Why are you streaming over 3,000 miles away? You crate penis."
Wait,
do better, Japan.
I love Unfiltered Element 7. This is great.
I love you, Pep. I miss you.
Where I don't even see that message in the chat. Was it blocked by Automod or something?
No, maybe it got blocked by Automod, but we saw it on StreamYard. So who?
Yeah, I don't see it.
It's there
because I have YouTube pulled up, but I don't see it.
No, he was talking about the chat, talking about how Japan internet sucks, and they're literally entire half the way around the world away.
But
like
again, I do love how, like I said, going back to the Celebration thing, like formatting wise, I do love this year in particular, like no studio showcase. Let's really hone in on specific projects and let's use the live stage for once to announce things. Because a lot of times it was like, okay, if you got into studio showcase, you got most of like your money's worth. And it kind of sucked for everyone else that couldn't get in because it's like, sure, you could try to get into the other panels and try to get the other focus stuff, but like that was where everything was. But by spreading everything out over these 3 days, it makes it worth it because guess what? If you're exploring around the convention right now and you didn't get into Mando and Grogu, guess what? You still get to see the information because you were sitting at the live stage. I remember this, Cal, I don't remember if you remember this, but when we were at Celebration Anaheim, how like disappointed we were when we were sitting at the live stage and nothing happened. We're like, oh, I guess we'll just kind of go wander.
Yeah, no, there's a couple moments where like some panels were going on and we were in line for like meeting you and I think it was just you and McGregor at that point, but like they could have had the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones panel on the main stage screen. There was nothing happening there. I remember it was watching the same like 5 trailers for things over and over again. And I'm like, okay, but why not have it?
I vividly remember. I remember this. Remember, we all went. Remember when Chaco had that panel? Do you guys remember when Chaco had that panel? And we were all on the side on our phones waiting for Hayden and them to come out. And we, right when that ended, we like dead sprinted to the live stage. Remember that?
I remember
that because that's exactly how Anaheim was set up.
I did no sprinting, but I do remember it.
No,
Chart.
Remember
Carter, Dale, we were hauling ass.
No, I was there too. I was hauling ass too.
Y'all were hauling ass. Y'all were hauling ass to them. I was hauling ass to Nick to get my ticket to.
Because you were getting Kenobi ticket.
And then, he's about to go see Kenobi. Okay, no, but everyone was making haste to the live stage because there was nothing there. But like at certain times of the day, people would come out and then they would go. But like the live stage being like continually active is really beneficial for all the viewers there.
Well, not to mention it's also like a lot of time and money to set it up to begin with. So for them to do nothing with it for like hours, it's like, at least you have the TVs hooked up here. Just put a feed of the different panels going on, or one of them, or the big ones.
I always had the contention, especially the last 3 celebrations, because this was an issue of previous years where we used to stream the panels, but they used to censor all the confidential information. So like the trailers.
That's probably why they didn't do it at the live stages, because it's harder to police recording of confidential stuff.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
Well, in Japan this time, yeah. But
with the live stage, I'm saying like they should be streaming these panels and then just put up a screen saying we'll be back in like 30 seconds.
what's it called? Just like they did for D23 when they first announced all of these things. Remember?
Yeah. No, I'm saying like I remember seeing years past celebrations from like 2017, 2019, and 2015. They used to stream all the panels. They would just put up an overlay saying, "Hey, the panel's going on right now. We'll be back in 30 seconds." And then they would bring it back to the panel when the trailer is done or they wanted to show something only to them. It's like you can have it set up with a hot switch and someone in the room go click, unclick. It's like it doesn't take that long.
Like just pause the feed for that duration and then resume it once the trailer's over.
Wait, what the hell?
Hello, the director of Godzilla -1 is on stage.
Can we pull back up the feed?
Yeah.
Can you see that again?
Hold on.
Anyways, Andor.
Sorry, we've lost the plot of the episode.
Which is fine because this is breaking news, right?
He's not there to announce that he's doing this movie. It'd be sick as fuck, though.
Wow, that's Raina Scully. She was on SourceFed. She did a bunch of content like stuff like this before, so that's cool to see she's on Celebration.
I love this. But why can't we have translators?
Why can't it be like a Pokemon Presents, you know?
I mean, because it's
like have a translator, like you know how they have them, like
it's hard to do this live.
Yeah, it's
when
live.
the EU does that though.
Yeah. But it's live.
Like how they are able to pick it up. They do it live too when they like have the EU meetings. Or
put in like
the
Hutty
whatever.
subtitles. Like yellow bolded like subtitles at the bottom.
I know he
Because
said
they don't know what
yes
it's gonna be
because I know
talking about, right? There's translating things live. Not always like effective or even correct.
It'd be like those TVs in a random restaurant have the subtitles be delayed. I don't know.
I wonder how many Japanese. Like, I wonder if it's all the population, or I would want to know what the range is from people coming from across the globe to what is like, or if it's all just Japanese folks.
Like you mean attendance at
everyone all over the world versus just Japan? Like, what are you trying to?
I would say it's at least like 80% Japanese people.
Japanese. That's what I was saying too.
I mean, everyone that's listening right now clearly is from Japan.
Yeah.
すごくたくさんの海外の方たちがこのセレブレーションのために来日してくださってるじゃないですか。スタッフキャストもそうなんだけど、一般の方たちもたくさんこのために日本に来てくださってるっていうのが、もう本当にご苦労様と思いますし、嬉しいなというふうに思います。
思いますよね。本当に世界中の皆さんがここに集まってスター・ウォーズをみんんで楽しんで
Like, is he going to be talking about?
No, we're talking about how Star Wars Celebration is in Japan and how Star Wars was inspired by Kurosawa. Oh, okay.
感じられる点というか、主にインスピレーションはどこから来ましたか？
Inspiration. I understood that. I understood that.
Way to go, Luke.
Jedi.
You get 10 Nebraska claps. Way to go, bud.
Is he here for a specific project or
no? He's just there as a fan.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
ただ単に宇宙だけとか地上だけとかじゃなくて縦横無尽にいろんな世界を表現できる。
Man, the live chat is not the vibe.
No, YouTube live chats have never been the vibe.
What do you mean?
Oh no, they're terrible.
What, this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I cannot imagine how much shit.
Trolls.
Basement dwellers.
Speak English. How about not, dickhead?
Oh no, the thing you like is loved in other countries too. Wow.
Wow.
Like that's a good thing. Like when I see stuff like this, I almost get emotional because I'm like, something that I love is loved in a country where like because I grew up watching a lot of anime and stuff like that, right? A lot of it's subtitled or translated and things like that, and like to think of like, oh, people have watched movies that I watched growing up and
subbed or dubbed,
yeah,
of their language,
and like the fact that they love this content enough to even host Star Wars Celebration is the coolest thing to me.
He's talking about how much he loves the world of Star Wars and how much it inspires him. He's speaking too fast now.
Yeah, I've picked up on a couple things, but like,
yeah. That is so cool. Star Wars reminds him, yeah.
Star Wars reminds him of the Jedi period movies he watched growing up.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why, like, I grew up being a big fan of Japan in general, and like a lot of media from Japan is because Star Wars is heavily influenced by Japan as well.
I love the fact that he's like,
really? All right. Where's my Kojima Star Wars game?
Well, please, get Kojima out here. Please.
Dude.
Just Kojima out there being like, I don't like Star Wars that much. Goodbye.
Honestly,
I would be so satisfied with that.
Well, like, didn't Kojima like show up to Galaxy's Edge like a couple months ago? Like, been posting like pictures of him like nerding out with Kylo Ren and like Stormtroopers. So like, honestly, like, I hope they keep doing stuff like this where they actually bring out like Japanese filmmakers and like game developers and like writers and stuff, and they talk about their love for Star Wars Celebration in Japan, because it's like this is the prime opportunity to do something like this. And
like, here's kind of where I come at it from, like in kind of response to a lot of people online in comment sections hazing or whatever the heck they think they're accomplishing. But like the fact that there's people in the world who have come from a completely different perspective and live a completely different way of living from what the norm is. The fact that they can still find love in media made in a different country and want to create and experience that media as well. Like, I'm probably phrasing it really poorly, but like, Visions does that a lot for me. When you can see all of these different animation studios from around the world making what Star Wars feels like and means to them, and the fact that it can be so different and include so many more people. Like, I grew up getting bullied for liking Star Wars, you know, like, and now it's something that it's like, oh, you mean to tell me that like there's a studio in Ireland that made like an animated short for Star Wars because they love it so much, or like, you know, we have Star Wars anime, and like, that's so cool.
There's also like the meta aspect of like Star Wars is very inspired by like he was explaining, like Star Wars is very inspired by like samurai culture, and it's like this now it's like you get this really cool with Visions where it's like this kind of a cool cross bleed between Japanese culture and Star Wars. So it's kind of like it's going full circle where it's like Star Wars was inspired by Japanese samurai films. Now Japanese samurai films are inspired by Star Wars, and it's like this really cool full circle
moment. It makes it feel more real when there's the galaxy of Star Wars is unique and diverse as our own, right? Like, it would feel very weird if it was this isolated tiny bubble thing. Like, I don't know why people don't want it to be everywhere.
Yeah. But
that being said, I feel like we've got most of our celebration news out of the end. I am going to kick it back to Andor for more of a, since we've been doing this for about 2 hours, final thoughts. I think the one thing I want to drop is there's nothing more satisfying than Brasso smacking the Imperial officer
with the funerary stone.
Yes.
Oh.
Top 3 Star Wars moments. So
genuinely, yes. It's so cathartic.
It's a cool scene. It's fun to watch. It's emotional. It's poetic. It ticks all the boxes you want out of Star Wars. I love that moment. But Cal, since you're a guest, we'll start with you. Like, thoughts on the finale of season one as a whole, and also your expectations for season 2 or your hopes for season 2.
I rewatched the finale yesterday, just kind of in preparation again, and it hit me honestly as hard as it did when I watched it the first time.
Yeah.
It's
I watched
especially
it today.
now, with a lot of stuff going on in the United States as well. Like there's a lot of potency
to
the finale.
We got to do this. Have you read Mask of Fear?
Mm-mm.
You should read Mask of Fear.
I will do that.
It hurts in a lot of ways.
Take it back.
It
I'm
hurts.
not gonna read it now.
It hurts.
I'm in a
so
really
good.
vulnerable state right now. No,
it is chapter after chapter of like you want to close the book because it's like, okay, this is too close to what's going on right now. But very good story, very good thing. But yeah.
Okay, I'll definitely. I have too many books to read, which is why again I haven't picked up Outlaws. There's just too much content, and it's hard to be a nerd, man. But I mean, honestly, really, what it is we're spoiled.
Yeah.
But no, it's a beautiful finale to a first season.
Yeah,
because it does tie up a lot of what was built up, but it also establishes this is the beginning of something as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I guess for season 2, I expect Diego Luna's going to be in it, and it's going to be good.
That's fair. I think you're going to be right on both those things.
Right. I try not to have expectations.
That's fair.
I expect it's going to be Star Wars, and I expect I'm going to love it.
I think that's fair.
And yeah, I don't know. Like, I haven't seen any trailers on it yet. I'm just, I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't need the trailers to convince myself to watch something I know I'm already going to watch.
That's
100%.
fair. Hereth, what are your final wrap up thoughts?
I mean, final wrap up thoughts on Andor, man. Like my brain is just congested as hell because of all this celebration news. But man, like Hal put everything like perfectly what I was gonna say. Like I'm really excited for Andor season 2 to take this like event of Ferrix, this event of Narkina 5, this event of Aldani, of like how this is all just the beginning of the rebellion, and like all this is happening at the same time that Rebels is happening, and we're having all these major events in season 1 and this happening at the exact same time. And now we're going forward into Andor season 2 where the revolution is fully going to start. We're going to be in the knees deep of it, and I'm excited to see stuff like the Gorman Massacre and all these major events that are going to happen, and how we're going to see Captain Andor get from where he is in Ferrix to doing these terrible things to the rebellion to get where we're at in Rogue One, and see how Mon Mothma is going to get from where she is in Andor to where should we see her in like Rebel season 3 and Rogue One. So it's like I'm really excited to see how this connective tissue happens and how we get there.
Is this the last season of Andor? Or is there only going to be 2 seasons?
Yes, this is the last one.
Then yeah, no, like, yeah, I didn't know that, but like thinking about that now, like that is a lot of ground to cover. I feel like in a way, but it's going to be exciting.
We know that the Andor, I don't know if you know this or not, but Andor, each arc is going to jump a year. So we're going to have like one arc, and then we're jumping 1 year into the future. One arc, we're just going to keep getting it all the way to Rogue One. It's going to be like a countdown to Rogue One.
See, and I think this gives them a little bit more of a leeway in between those years to tell a story, tell something different.
Yeah,
with him, if they wanted to, they could.
Because the first season it was literally setting the groundwork of the character, how he got involved, and where it's going to go. Now we're going to see some pure regression, or not progression into who he becomes, how he becomes the way he is, who he's working with, and how we find out it's Luthen, and how he's involved with Saw Gerrera and the whole group of extremists that are involved with taking down the Empire. Like,
yeah,
that's the funny thing about Andor season 1. Like coming in, I only watched the finale. I'm like, I forgot how much of the show called Andor doesn't have Andor in it, and like how many other characters there are that we love and care about and are following. And
What I do hope, like what you just said, Cal, with Andor is like Andor essentially has two characters we know. We have Andor, we have Cassian, and we have Melshi. That is it. And what
and
Rogue
Mon Mothma.
One and Mon Mothma. That's fair. Yeah, but
not a lot of them.
But the main, like you have Mon Mothma as what I would consider as a main character, but like Bix and Brasso and Dedra and Cyril and so many other characters are new. Like Perrin is new.
The full Aldani crew.
Yeah,
like,
all of them are new. And it's just one of those things like what Rogue One also did really well is build these relationships with these new characters and make them memorable. And when you lose one, like what we talked about earlier, like it's just that one character that was on the call with Cassian and he's dead. And it's like, you feel that. And I hope that something, not just Starfighter, I think all Star Wars projects moving forward, like I really hope they find ways to flesh out these new characters and continue to expand the Star Wars galaxy, so that we get like more characters to enjoy and love, and that like younger generations can have that as well.
Absolutely.
But Luke, give me your final thoughts.
It's great. Loved every minute of it. Luthen's speech, of course. Or not Luthen's speech. Luthen doesn't give a speech at the end, does he?
No, Marva.
That's not
Marva's.
Marva's speech is chilling.
Marva's speech is
also
chilling.
inspiring.
Great.
Where she literally went this to the Empire. I'm like, yeah.
I can't wait to get more through Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire, because I have a feeling a lot of Andor stuff is going to be in there.
Yeah, it was written after Andor, and so like a lot of Andor stuff is missing from a lot of literature because it, believe it or not, it is still a new show. It feels like it was a while ago, but it's very new.
Yeah, but it's Andor season 2's got a lot of interesting arcs, a lot of events that are going to happen. Who's going to show up? We might as well get our bingo cards together because we might.
Pod One's bingo card.
They're going to be on it.
I think we should. I think it'd be fun. Winner gets a lightsaber.
Starts the rebellion.
Winner gets a lightsaber.
All right.
Oh, I heard that before, Luke.
Charlie Johnson, final thoughts on Andor.
I want from this to the next season, I want more Cassian, more Luthen, more Bix, more Saw Gerrera. That's the only group of people. I mean, you can also have the others, but like those are the four main characters that I want to see more of, especially Bix, especially what she had to endure at the very end of the season.
Yes, agreed. Yeah,
but all I'm looking forward to in this second season,
well, not to mention like
Bix went through a lot.
We don't see her in the rebellion in Rogue One, so like,
I know
falling out.
Yeah.
Is it worse than a falling out?
Not in the original trilogy effect.
I know, and I agree with this with M. Like I know M said this like when Andor season 1 was airing. A really cool way Andor season 2 could end would be like an end credit scene, kind of like what we had with Andor season 1, but it's after the events of Rogue One, and it's all the characters that survived Andor talking about all the events that have happened in these 2 seasons and
Admiral
why they're in the rebellion.
Like,
well, no, I mean like more like Bix, like Vel and Cinta, they survived. Those type
like
of
all
things,
the homies on the profundity and
and it's like them talking about like why they need to keep going forward because of Cassian, like something like that.
I would, you know what I would like to see. Like, I think that's a cool idea. I would like to see that taking place between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Agreed.
I would like to see that if some of these characters make it out of season 2, which we should expect most of them won't. But if they don't, or if they do, like, I would like to see their storylines extended.
Has them linked to like Twilight Company.
You know, I know that this is cheesy, but like, even if it was like, I'm just throwing this out there of like a post-credit scene of like someone in a really bulky like parka, and it pulls down a hood and it's Vel, and she's like, "Oh, welcome to Echo Base."
Yeah.
Like
that would be so rad.
Yeah.
I would be here for something like that. Yeah.
Like it's something small. It's kind of like what they did for I think Bix is probably a better person to do that.
I think Bix would be the best person to use it.
Val's in this too. All you hear is Echo 7, please report to the main tower. That's Han.
Yeah. Like having something like that, like what they did with the Death Star in Andor season 1, because obviously visually stunning, really, really stunning how they shot that. And it was like this, like, oh my God, Cassian is building the machine that will take him out of everything. Like having like a nice resolution for some of these characters and like maybe a post-credit scene that is like they made it through. Like
Char, that's a really good idea though, to have a cameo like that, but as a non like physical
not
presence,
visual.
Like, you could get Harrison Ford to just record a line of dialogue.
It's like
that's played over a walkie, right? Like
it's like before everyone leaves Yavin to go to Scarif, where it's like, Captain Sedula, please report to the
100%.
Like,
or like all of the Jedi, right? Like hearing Mace and Qui-Gon and all that, right? Like that was one of the coolest sets of cameos.
Malcolm did all you hear in the background. Then I'll see you in hell. I'm like, whoa, what's going on over there?
Like they could do stuff like that, right? Like I genuinely, or it could literally be that happens off screen, and the guy he says that to comes in storming like, oh my God, I hate that man.
To me, the reason why I said after Rogue One, to me, where I would put it, like I like Chase's point, but to me, it's like I would love it to be during A New Hope, but before the Battle of Yavin. If that makes any sense.
I disagree with that, because I want the people who went through what they went through in Andor to see the destruction of the Death Star.
Yes.
No, I'm saying they will, but I'm just saying
I would honestly not even be opposed to seeing a scene of them just on Endor, and like we find out that like they were some of the people on Endor.
Chase, I'm right with you on that. It's like
because they could just show Ewoks and a jungle, and we get it.
We've seen enough people sacrifice their lives
was not in vain.
Yes.
Yeah, it shows that if the Death Star was destroyed, that their sacrifice and their will to continue to fight was not in vain.
We saw especially this in
since
A New
Cassian
Hope.
helped create,
especially after Luthen's speech of sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Like to get to see a sunrise that they'll never know, But like it would be nice to actually get to see some heroic characters get to see something positive for the sacrifice and energy they put into it.
It's one of these.
It's also the end of Luthen's speech. It's just like, I need you, Lonnie. I need all the heroes I can get. Like that's the whole premise of the rebellion.
Oh, Lonnie with his kids would be nice to see.
Lonnie living in the Outer Rim with a family, kind of like how they did Cut in the Clone Wars, like something like that. Yeah. One thing that I would like, it's one of those things like probably not going to happen, but because sometimes like when books come out in parallel with shows, you do kind of get a little insight. Only Luke and I will get this. If Mon Mothma mentions what is in her heart.
Oh yes! Oh no!
Probably a heartbeat. Yeah.
No.
Cholesterol.
No.
Gotta read the book to understand it. But anyway,
there's a very important thing that happens in a book with Mon Mothma and because it very much ties with what Luthen's speech of what have you sacrificed it, what Mon Mothma has sacrificed. You get more insight into it, and it's not just Leia. There's so much more we could have talked about even with Leia and Mon Mothma. But I would love to see if like Alexander Freed had a little bit of insight with the production. And got to write parts of that in the book. I think that would be cool. But that being said,
there's two things I want to say. One thing I want to say and one thing I want to ask. One, all I want to see from Andor season 2 is I want to see the extreme put into extremists. I want to see them go fully unhinged. I want to like the things that Saw has done on text. we need to see in person.
I want to see his Rebel
visually.
Rising. I want to see Rebel Rising in live action.
Yes, and we need to see some gruesome shit returned.
Well, yeah,
I
to
think
the Empire with what they've
as someone
done
who
to the
loves
rebellion.
gruesome shit, I think like you can convey that in a way that doesn't need to be over the top, like Mortal Kombat
Agreed.
style.
Right.
But I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Well, I agree. Like, going back to what Luke was saying earlier in the podcast, like, this is why I want Bale in this season of Andor. I want him to be surrounded with like the Luthens, the Saw Gerreras, the Mon Mothmas. Bale is like the ultimate person. It's like would be the perfect balance to all these characters because it's like I want to see every type of rebellion, type of like personality.
You
and
gotta
like,
read
Mask of Fear.
And I'm saying
You've been
in
saying it for
Andor
the last
season
fucking
2.
4 weeks.
I'm
man.
saying in
Only thing I
with
know
these
is that
events.
there's no way that Mon Mothma and Saw Gerrera are going to get involved, especially with what happened in Rebels.
Well,
Like, no way. They
because
literally like bump heads with each other.
Chase,
we could
say it
do a
after
connection
me.
and then
Read
gotta read
Mask of Fear.
Read
All this
Moment.
stuff
I don't
occurred.
know.
Anyway, all right.
But what you wanted to ask a question, Char. What was that?
Yes,
I'm going to
the
ask
question.
something. All right, over under. That very end of the show, very end of the season.
Sure.
Do we or do we not get a Felicity Jones appearance?
Do not.
No.
Do not.
Spoiler: she plays Jyn Erso.
Yes.
Do not. Do not.
I would cry.
No.
I would cry. If
Hey, that's why we need a bingo card. We should make a Pod Ones bingo card.
No,
Pod
that's
Ones
what I'm
enters
saying.
into
We'll
bingo
make the-
card.
I'm gonna give you
Beautiful.
I'm gonna give you a 5% chance that she shows up.
0% chance.
Yeah?
That's
I
who they're
think-
No,
talking
don't
about.
worry,
I
Luke.
think
Dexter
they
Jettster's going to show up. Yeah, we're going to get a Rod of the Hut cameo. I'm sure. Yeah.
5% is what I'm gonna give you.
I give it 0%.
I'm with Luke.
Would love it, but I don't think.
Hey, 5% is not a
I
no.
think her schedule's.
That's good odds.
I think he's. I think that's what Tony might have been hinting at as well for scheduling because she's also in a lot of things.
We do as. Wait. What do you say about Leanna Halleck? Wait, hold on.
Yep.
We do as Leanna Halleck, and she's getting arrested.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
funny.
all 6 of her different like aliases that she.
The
But I
master
wouldn't-
order.
Bunch.
I wouldn't mind if like it's something like that with Andor's ending, where it's like we're cross cutting to all the different characters in Rogue One, not like in a fan servicey way, but more like
Obviously Melchi's in there. Like,
Sure.
yeah.
We know Krennic
Yeah.
is going to be there. There is a possibility that Galen will be there. So we're going.
has it already been announced that
going to-
Palpatine's coming?
We see his podium raised. in
I
the Senate,
heavily suspect Palpatine.
so it's possible.
That would be cool.
I've been going on that for months now, like Tony Goer writing.
Ian
Chancellor
McDiarmid
Palpatine
back
is
at it
so
again.
cool.
Yeah. I think regardless, I'm beyond excited for next week, the 22nd. Like, I am so pumped.
Be awesome. It's gonna be here in 4 days.
It's
Is
crazy.
it an episode
Yeah,
a
man.
week? And do we know the episode?
3 episodes.
3
a week.
episodes a week.
Why not just do a movie a week? 'Cause
That's
kind of
literally what.
the
That's
You know-
that's
you know,
literally what they essentially they said.
I had this thought when I was watching episode 11 of Andor, and some of the shots they used, and it's just something that I've seen discussed recently of like, seasons getting shorter, seasons taking longer to make, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, these are movies at this point. Like, the production quality is just cinema level. Like, if I showed you a still of Andor and I showed you a still of insert any other film here, you couldn't tell the difference. Like, the sound production, the special effects, like, we are just
no,
Yeah.
flash for the TV show.
Yeah, we're
Right.
we're just at that point where like the line is so beyond blurred. It's just that television just lasts longer, and people seem to like that, which is good. Like, I still love movies. I love the idea of going to a movie theater for an hour and a half to 3 hours, depending on, and getting a full experience. I love that.
I wish there was
Mandalorian and Grogu because of how condensed it'll be. I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
I do wish there was a way to choose to watch the 3 episode arc in one continuous thing without like the end credits, without the last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Like with it like transitioning right into the next one. That'd be cool.
Like let me just have it as a 3 hour chunk.
Yeah, just
Right.
this is
Or
movie
2.5 hours.
1 through 4. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
just give me the Lord of the
think that
Rings
would be cool.
trilogy extended edition +1.
Yeah, exactly. I am excited to watch Andor season 1, Andor season 2, and then directly into Rogue One. Like, I feel like that's going to be
shit.
a
Yeah,
new
it's
Star
very-
Wars equivalent of like the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy watch party, where it's like, yeah, once a year we watch all 3 extended editions in a row.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be.
This isn't new news that Pep
We-
just
we
said.
knew
Yeah,
that
Pep
was
said
going-
Captain
that
Kennedy
was-
just said on stage, Andor 2 will make you see Rogue One in a new way because of the finale goes straight into the movie. Yeah.
They said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I've told this to Chase before, and I'm 100% down to do this when season 2 is already done and said.
I'm
wanna do
watching Rogue One right after.
No,
season 2
I was
is
gonna do a hypercut of final arc of Andor into Rogue One into A New Hope, where it's just like
I don't think A New Hope is
great
necessary, but
Well, it would all be a continuous
story. It's all
story.
one
It
story.
all
It's
flows
all a
into each other.
continuous story. That makes sense. I like that a lot.
yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys for being.
You're welcome
here.
anytime.
Cal, thank you for joining us for this
Yeah, thanks for having
very
me.
extended version of the Pod Ones podcast.
Is it?
It is. We usually go for about an hour 15. We're at 2:10 right
Oh.
now. So
Wait, did we
Yeah,
get that?
because of,
Let's go Disney money. 2 hours.
I'm just normally in the
we,
headspace of streaming for a minimum of 3 hours. So
That's fair.
for me, it's.
But thank you for being here. Thanks for your insight. It's always very welcomed and appreciated. And if you don't mind plugging your stuff, where can we find you on the internet? What are you working on? What are you doing?
I mean, you can find me pretty much on any media platform or like game, like Steam, whatever, like all of those things. Just at Cal4 on pretty much everything. I play a lot of games with friends. You know, cultivate a space of a bunch of awesome people hanging out, having fun, doing nerd stuff.
I need to pull you into that free fly with AJ.
Oh, it's with AJ. Okay, never mind. Then yeah, I will be there.
Yeah. Well, in that case, let's just go down the line. Charlie, where can the good people find you on the internet?
Good people, you can find me on TikTok once in a blue moon. Instagram, Twitter at CharCharJ as seen down here, and you can find me at the Pod Ones podcast whenever that will be. But I know that we will be having a lot of discussions during Andor season 2.
Amazing. Hereth, where can the bad people find you?
Oh, the bad people, they can find me because they definitely are not watching this part of the podcast, and they definitely clicked off
Tread
the
lightly,
first
pal.
30 seconds. Anyway, they could, I guess if
They're
they
in
wanna
the Star Wars Celebration live stream saying
Yes.
fire Kathleen Kennedy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the good people and the okay people can find me at Hereth Productions on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and of course you can find me here at the Pod Ones podcast. I'm so excited for Saturday and like the chaos that's going to start when we have all these people discussing like all this news that's coming up from Celebration Japan.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Chase is just go to me, but I'm just gonna go ahead and take the reins on this one.
Luke, where can the hungry people find you?
Oh, did y'all hear that? Damn.
Yeah.
I was
Luke, you have the setup of the century. Please take it.
All right. Anyway, as Hereth mentioned, we are going to be doing a pretty big day of streaming on Saturday. I'm going to stream Star Wars Outlaws a little bit before our 7 o'clock big stream with Mesa Windu, with B Dazzler, with Chaco, with Estar Tia.
There's too many names.
And so many more. We can't wait to do that. So that'll be at 7 o'clock on Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. But you can find me at Jedi Master Eggs on all social medias. You can follow the Pod Ones on all social medias. And Chase, where can the good people find you?
You could find me on TikTok mostly, a little bit on Blue Sky, a little bit on YouTube, and a little bit on Twitch at Forward Into the Black. You can also find me on Wednesday mornings talking with AJ at The Dork Place, doing shit I love with people I like, just talking about a bunch of stuff. Yesterday morning, we talked about Star Citizen as it just reached $800 million in crowdfunding. So we talked about that. AJ's never played it. We will be playing it this weekend as well, probably some parts Saturday, some parts Sunday. And then you can obviously find me here on the Podwans podcast every Thursday talking about Star Wars and other things, but primarily Star Wars. And then you will also be able to find myself and Luke Egan joining Pep and Brandon on Diet in the Forest to talk about Alexander Freed's incredible novel, The Mask of Fear.
That's great.
So
tomorrow?
That is tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow.
So tune in tomorrow as we discuss it. It will
available.
be
Is audiobook available for it?
Of course, yeah.
I got leftover credits. I'll get it done.
Yeah, I have a stack of credits. Dude.
I believe in you.
It's a great book. It's a great read. It's very tough to get through in some points just because of the parallels of the real world right now. But very excited to talk about that. But that, I think, about wraps it up for today. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thanks for Pep and Brandon for stopping by. Thanks for Nick for kind of helping us out with a lot of the Celebration news. I know that this episode was all over the place with Celebration going back to Andor.
Thanks to that guy.
I'm so tempted to retitle this episode. We try to talk about Andor season 1 finale, aka
but
Celebration
happened.
we
we tried to talk Andor finale.
No. The gang tries
to talk about Andor during Celebration.
I love that.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us. Cal, thank you again for being here and taking time out of your day to hang out with us and talk about everything. That'll be it for the Pod Ones this week. We will see you on Saturday and then again on next Thursday to talk about Andor season 2. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good night, and we'll see you Saturday and next week.
May the Force be with you.